Hello, friends. Welcome to Tabletop Tonight. Hey, this is the OG Tabletop Tonight. It's been a while since I did a 7 p.m. Pacific stream here, so welcome. But as I always say, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. My name's Ruel Gabriel. I'm so happy to be here. It's post Gen Con time, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I think today I'm pretty over my jet lag, hopefully. I have been a little groggy all day. I'll be honest, I got up at 3 a.m. this morning, went back to bed until about 4 a.m., then got up for my day. I, right before I was going to go on stream with Rahdo today at noon, I took like a quick little sort of like zone out for 15 minutes. And then afterwards, I wish I could have just slept like for a couple hours, but I didn't. I probably nodded off for like 20 minutes, probably like around 3 or 4 this afternoon. But I'm trying to, hold on so I can get some solid sleep tonight. But we shall see. Jet lag, at least for me, it's always a tricky thing. But I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. What I'm doing today, I'm going to be going over my top 10 Gen Con moments. I want to do something a little different, right? I mean, everyone talks about games or whatever. I'm talking about moments here. So some will be games, some will be related to games, some will have nothing to do with games, but we shall see. But I want to shout out everyone here. Thank you so much for joining me. There's a bunch of people streaming on board game category on Twitch right now, and they're all great. I mean, I saw Bonds is live, the Brothers Murph, I was just in their chat. Board Game Garden, our friends Jenna and Francis are live, and a bunch more. So I do appreciate you hanging out here with me. I'm just gonna be hanging out chatting, so I'll probably do an unboxing or two. As you can see, I have some of the new stuff that I picked up at Gen Con. So let's see, I had Ahoy and I had Moonrakers, but right over here, I picked up Moonshine Empire, and also finally got my copy of Ready Set Bet. You know how much I love that. Terracotta Army from Board and Dice, they hooked me up with that. I'm super stoked because that was on my list of hot things I wanted. And this one here, Kinfire Chronicles, this one I picked up. This is actually the preview copy. I'm doing a live stream of that. It was supposed to be next week, but they pushed it back 2 more weeks, and just to clean up some stuff. And honestly, I'm grateful because I like turning around and doing a stream like within, well, that would have been next, actually 8/12, so that's like, that would have been next Tuesday. Probably rushing it. Actually, it is rushing it for me. That's definitely a rush job. But thankfully, they pushed it back, so I got more time to digest it. That's just the preview copy you have here behind me. But welcome, friends. Hello, James. Hello, Variant Hex. I'm very excited to talk about my experience at Gen Con because I got to meet a few of you here in chat. Actually, a good number. Variant Hex was one of them. A delightful person. I cannot rave enough about all the people I met. Variant Hex was one of them. There may be others as well that you'll see in chat. But to me, I mean, I could just tell you right off the bat. I mean, obviously, the best thing about Gen Con, besides the games, actually more than the games, are the people. Because without people, you're not playing games. Yeah, you could solo them or whatever, but you know what I mean, right? That's what we're all about here on Tabletop Tonight. That's what I'm all about, as far as loving this hobby. I love the games, of course, but I have formed some very good friendships through board games. I have our family has really bonded through board games, so it's all about the people. And Gen Con, there was a ton of people. I think the last official count was 50,000. It honestly felt like, I've been to San Diego Comic Con. I went there a few years ago, and it felt like that, where they have like 200,000 people in the weekend, and I honestly felt like that to me. But you trust those numbers. If they say 50,000, it was 50,000, but it seemed like way more than that. Hornus is here as well. Hello, Hornus. James, good to hear. Good to see you here. And also Old Man Coaster, hello. GB Glazer, hello, GB Glazer. I hope your expansion to your base game is doing well. Headbanging Mania, always my favorite username in chat. Bing is here. Hello, Bing. Bing, I do want to thank you. Bing was very kind and sent me a bunch of recommendations in the Discord channel for Indianapolis based things like food, just things to do. So I do appreciate that, Bing. Folks, if you're not part of the Discord, I'm going to drop the link right there. It is a family-friendly Discord. It's the Fam Bam. I've been thinking about, should we make that like an official thing? Like, I've been sort of like just saying Fam Bam because that's what we call our family. But should we make that the Tabletop Tonight like official Fam Bam? Is that what we should do? Like, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna hydrate first, folks. Hydrate with me if you will. Whenever I go to conventions, like Gen Con, obviously, just last weekend, I get inspired, like, right? And I think I would like to do something more. I no, I don't think. I want to do more with our Discord community. I think James and Legends have been so instrumental in really getting people involved through the solo challenges, and I'd like to do more of those. I actually started the Bowling Solitaire League, which is like sort of an adjacent solo challenge. But it's for people who don't always have the games that are on the solo challenge list. Bowling Solitaire you can totally get free. Just print out, just have a deck of cards and print out a bowling sheet. That's all you need, and the rules, of course. But I want to do more stuff like that. If y'all have any ideas, please join our Discord. Let's figure out ways to continually engage with each other. Because, seeing everyone in real life, and with a few of you, I was able to play games. All of you, that meant I got to chat with you. And a few of you also joined me for a meal, which to me that was it was so satisfying and so good for the soul. Dink and Mike were just talking about how Gen Con's good for the soul, and as a content creator, and I mean just as a human being, it really was, because you play the games, whatever, you stream the games, cool, but connecting with other people, making friends, life's too short to sweat the small stuff, and to have to form friendships at the table. It's so satisfying. And Daryl B Gaming, y'all know him, you've seen him on screen before, and he's in chat every now and then. He's become one of my best friends over the last 5 years, and that's because we share a love of board games. So it's really neat. I'm gonna say hello to more friends here in chat. I am running behind, but Old Man Coaster, Spies, Ready, Set, Bet, yes. Foglight, yes. Moments, that's a good list. Thank you, Foglight. Foglight was one of the people I met, and that was a real thrill for me. You see everyone in chat, and you all see me, obviously, but I don't. I see your names in chat, and to be able to put a face and a voice and just a presence to that, it really, first of all, it meant a lot that people want to chat and hang out for even a little bit, but just going through that, it humanizes everything, right? And again, I'm very grateful for your time and for you all to come up and say hello, so thank you. Dino Corgi, yeah, also, why are there so many streams right now? I can't watch everyone. Yeah, so Dino Corgi, another person I met, very, very grateful for that. Don't forget, I export this to YouTube. So Twitch has this thing where they have exclusive rights to the live stream, and then 24 hours you could port it over to YouTube or whatever. So I'm gonna have this on YouTube, so feel free to watch tomorrow, Dino Corgi. And actually, it's fun with YouTube because then I'll put the chapters in there, and you could just skip through like stuff you don't want. If you don't need to see like a analog alert or something, just skip past it and go straight to the stuff that you want, because it'll be blocked off like number 10, number 9, etc. And you can just click on the chapters there. James says, hello friend, how are you? You are alive. Yeah, I was so I flew back, gosh, yesterday morning. At Monday morning my flight was 8 a.m. so that meant I got up at 4:30. I was up till about 2 o'clock that morning, because, and I'll share a little bit more of that story when we get into the list, but packing. And I mean, I brought over a carry-on and a piece of luggage, and then over there, and within that piece of luggage was another duffel bag. So I pay with American Airlines, I get one carry-on, one personal item on the plane for free. You could check in your first bag for free, which I did on the flight over there. Flight back, I checked in the second bag, and it cost me $40. So it is what it is. Southwest is better in that sense because they have 2 bags for free that you can check. But I took the hit. It's all good. I was trying to pack as light as possible, and once we get to the list, I'll share a few more stories of that. What I would like to do is I forgot to start up my featured chat because I want to highlight comments. Y'all, if you have comments or questions, feel free to throw them up there. I will get to them as we can. If you joined me earlier for the RVR show, thank you for that. I appreciate your support there. Rahdo and I, we played City Trip Bruges. a new roll and write game, which I really enjoyed. I was very, I was sort of like wondering, okay, is this going to be? I mean, it's a roll and write, so of course I was interested, but you know, I didn't really look at the rules that closely beforehand, just because my mind was elsewhere, and I'm still sort of zombied out. But once Richard and I start playing it, I was like, wow, this is really good, and he seemed to like it as well. So be sure to check that out on the Rahdo channel. He edits his stuff down and then puts on YouTube tomorrow. Of course, you can always check the VODs on Rahdo or my channel or whoever's channel. They're usually good for like 2 weeks or so here on Twitch. Let's continue with chat here. Yeah. Foglight, this is, you know, we were just talking about that. I think that's such a good point. Where is Foglight's comment? I just lost it. Sorry, Foghead. Foglight, sorry, Foghead. Foglight. Yeah, right here. It was lovely to see that people were actually real, right? And again, that was just sort of, you know, what, and sure enough, Future Chat's not working. Come on, Future Chat, where you at? It's not coming up. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Anyways, it was lovely to see that people were actually real. I agree. Also, anytime, I hope you had, oh yeah, Bing, yeah, next time, I hope to connect with you, friend. I hope your weekend went well, by the way. Old Man Coaster, yes, Indy has some good food options. I'm very happy with Indy as far as food options. I still need to find a good Asian restaurant, because the one closest to me was like PF Chang's, and like, no disrespect, but PF Chang's is decent, but come on, I'm in California, Southern California specifically, and there's a multitude of amazing Asian restaurants, and we're talking like all kinds of different Asian restaurants: Vietnamese, Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, Korean, all kinds. And I mean, we have, y'all, I always say this, different cities throughout the states have Chinatowns. We don't have just a Chinatown. We have the Sangyeong Valley. We have an entire valley: Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, Korean, you know, all kinds of food. But as overall, I'm happy with Indy's food options. My favorite breakfast, Cafe Patacho. I always forget the name. I always mispronounce it. I went there twice this time. Last time I went 4 times. This time I went twice. I had some different breakfasts, but they have a Cuban breakfast there that's really good. I enjoy that. Again, I'm going to keep pumping the Discord channel. Come on over to our Discord channel. You'll see food pictures and whatnot there. And hi, Meeple. People just walked in, and there's a noisy hall here. I'm going to be right back. Okay, well, hi, Meeple. I don't know if y'all can hear that. We got the washer running. It's noisy. Dino Corey, I love showing people some of the amazing food places here. Yeah. Henry is here. Thank you, Henry, for hanging out here. It was a pleasure meeting you, friend. I had a really nice conversation with Henry for a few minutes there with his partner. Again, it's just so nice to put faces to names in chat. So, Henry, it was a pleasure, my friend, and thank you again for all of your support. And, you know, one thing, too, that's really cool about being in person, I can give y'all buttons and stickers and whatnot. I ran out of the Mookie and Meeple buttons right after. I knew I should have made more, but I made those, and those were gone by, like, I think day 2, maybe day 3. I had a few. But then the Tabletop Tonight buttons were great. I had a ton of Tabletop Tonight stickers. I was able to give those out, so thank you. Slackfish has resubscribed. Thank you, Slackfish, for your support as always. Really appreciate you, friend. Yeah, if you're just joining us, folks, I'm talking about my top 10 Gen Con moments and more. I'll probably do an unboxing or two, but we're just hanging out, chilling, chatting away, getting warmed up to do this list. Old Man Coaster says, I need to get back into the solo challenges. Went a couple of months with minimal gaming while doing family challenge. I hope the family challenges are all right, Old Man Coaster. I know that can, just personally, I know, understand how that can be tough. So again, take the time you need to get through it. And if games are are part of the process, so be it. If not, yeah, step away from the games and deal with that. Again, I wish you best, my friend. Deadpan's here. Hello, Deadpan. Always good to see you. Gen yeah, hey, Ro, this is Gen nice to meet you. Yes, nice to meet you, friend. Again, meeting new friends as well is another great thing about Gen Con. And, I wish I could list every single one almost like a separate entry, but then we'd be here all night, talking about all the different stories and meeting all the different people. But Genway, is very, very nice to meet you, friend. Wish I could have made it back very late Friday night and was playing catch up. No worries, Bing. Totally understand. Welcome, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Genway was talking about Moonshine Empire. Yeah, so that's where we met, was during a Moonshine Empire demo. And they ended up, hooking me up with a copy of the game. So I'm really excited to check that out. It's got some, gosh, it's sort of like pick 'em and deliver with a little set collection. You got your secret missions and stuff. It's got this really fun theme of, you're making moonshine, right, with your cousins and stuff. So sort of like under the, I guess, during the Prohibition era, that's what I'm assuming. Old Becca says, dead on with the people at cons. The games are awesome, but connecting with friends and people new and old is so much fun. Agreed. We can play games at home with our, either families or close friends or whoever on a regular basis. But, as we go out at conventions again, meeting those that you've known through the internet, whether through, people through chat, or people through their content, or you just know people through forums, the BGG forums, or whatever, Facebook, whatever you do, it's really nice to connect on a more human level, right? I'm so grateful for everything that I've been able to experience through board games. Okay, let's see. GabZBD, hello. Hi, Ruel Green from the Philippines. Thank you, GabZBD. Mabuhay. Thank you, my friend. Oh my gosh, what time is it out there? Is it 7 a.m., 10 a.m. on Wednesday for you? It is 7:30 almost 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday here for me. But thank you for joining us from the Philippines. Always happy to see that. To see my fam bam out in the Philippines. Bing says, how about a virtual Zoom werewolf game? I think Tom Bass. Oh, really? Does he? Huh. I'm honestly not the biggest werewolf fan, but I'd be down to try something like that. Jen says, Gen Con exhausted. My left foot is swollen. I'm sorry to hear about that. You know what, Genway, I switched over to Skechers, and I always joke that those like old man shoes, but I'm going to tell you right now, the shoes I have are the most comfortable shoes I have for a convention. It's like walking on air. I use them at Dice Tower West. I used them at Gen Con. I've walked hundreds, well, I don't know about hundreds, but I'm thinking maybe at least 100 miles in these things. They're still in great shape, and my feet, I have problems with my feet. My feet are fine. I mean, yeah, I was sore yesterday and actually today as well, but feet-wise, I'm gonna highlight. You know what? Let's try to get me a Skechers sponsorship. How about that? Topo Chico and Skechers. If you want to keep your feet healthy and your bubbly, you drink Topo Chico and wear Skechers shoes. There's my pitch for that. Foglight, yes, folks. Why don't we jump into this? I'm gonna. Wow, you know what? Well, let me see how much chat we have to catch up here. Okay, I'm gonna catch up the chat, then we'll go into the list. But Foglight says, I really loved your idea of bringing a book for people to write in. That would make great memories. Foglight, you're right. So this is my Tabletop Tonight Gen Con yearbook. What it was, initially, I was getting, I have them blocked off with a binder here, but these pages here were my schedule. I was literally writing down my schedule because I was having so many problems with Google Calendar and Calendly. Nothing was linking up. Some appointments I had in Eastern time, some were converting over the Pacific time. It was just a nightmare. And I was so bummed. I missed 2 meetings out of the many that I had scheduled, but 2 I just straight up missed because I didn't get it right. Thankfully, one of them I made up, but the other one was just lost. And I'm bummed because that one was with someone I actually I know someone personally at the company, so I'm gonna be emailing them tonight. Sorry we missed blah blah blah. But anyways, this was the yearbook. Thanks for signing my Gen Con 2022 yearbook. Share your words of wisdom, favorite games, memories, drawings, etc. Have fun and KIT. Keep in touch. And as you can see here, the first one I don't know if I should. I mean, it is sort of public of it. I'll share a few things. Jackie Fox, you'll know her as she's very prominent on Twitter. She tweets a lot, but she is I think a 5-time Jeopardy champion, if not a multiple Jeopardy champion. And the coolest thing ever, she was the bassist for the Runaways, the band with Lita Ford and Joan Jett back in like the late 70s, I think. Just a super nice person. She's a Southern California person. Based in Southern California. She's a local gamer. So it's really, and she's actually has a game coming out. I was so bummed I wasn't able to play test her game, but it's about like 70s classic rock and roll, and it's got like an amplifier. It looks like an amplifier. The player board is so cool. But she was the first one to sign it, and then Amanda Panda signed it. This is Amy from Thinker Themer. But it was Foglight and everyone else. I mean, I cannot recommend doing this enough. It was just so neat. And Hags from Eric Yurko. Yeah, I didn't even know what Hags meant. I know KIT, keep in touch, but obviously, apparently Hags is have a good summer. So some people really got into the spirit of thing. I really appreciate that. But it's just, again, it was real. I mean, I read this between flights on a layover yesterday in Dallas. I brought out this book. I was trying to save it for when I got home, but I was reading. I was getting a little choked out, a little emotional. It was cool. Like everyone, there's a lot of nice things said, a lot of funny things. You know, some people got in the whole spirit of it being a yearbook, but people were just so kind. And this, I will be keeping this here. This is going to have a special place not only in my heart, but also in the studio here. And anytime I need a pickup, you know, because it can be tough, you know, doing what we do here. I love what I do, but you know, like any creative endeavor, you have your ups and downs. This will always be a pick me up for that. So if you sign this, thank you for your kind words and just for having fun with me and doing it. If you did not, you saw me, you know, I didn't get everyone to sign. There was a lot of times I just straight forgot to ask people. I got better as the convention went along, but this was new to me. I just had it in my backpack. So I did start asking more people. So I got it was a really nice thing that people did. So thank you, friends, if you signed it. I appreciate you. Okay, let's continue with chat. I'm going to catch up with the chat, then we'll get onto my list. Old Man says, I missed the RVR show earlier. Had a lot of afternoon points. Yeah, definitely check out the RVR show because I like that game. Legit like the game, City Trip Bruges. I think I was maybe sort of hesitant because the name didn't sound like City Trip Bruges. Okay, yay. It was the way we talked about it during our final thoughts. Sort of like Welcome To meets On Tour. You sort of mash that up and throw in a little set collection to it. It's good. I think. I'm trying to think where I place it after one play. We just played the basic game, and there's an advanced variant. I don't know where I'm going to place this. It's going to go pretty high up as far as roll and write, so because it's definitely a little meatier than those other two games I just talked about. But I don't know. I need to play it a few more times, and we'll see. I want to thank a couple of new followers, Extra Crispy McAdams. This is not the. Where's Felicia the Follow Fish? Oh, folks, we do analog alerts here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Felicia the Follow Fish shows up whenever we get new followers. She swims around, says hello, and then she swims away. And all of us, including y'all in chat, what do we say? We say bye, Felicia. Thank you, Extra Crispy and McAdams. Also, Slackfish resubbed. Slackfish is one of our longest running subscribers, and I want to thank Slackfish for all your support. Anytime there's a subscription on channel, we bust out Santiago the Subscription Submarine, or as we call him, Santiago the Sub. So thank you, Santiago spins the thing there, Propeller, and we have a raid coming in, Board Game Garden. Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Jenna, and thank you, Francis, for that. I hope your game of Brass Birmingham went well. If you're new to the channel, folks, my name is Ruel Gaviola. This is Tabletop Tonight. We do analog alerts. So we got a raid. I'm taking off my Bigfoot hat. I'll talk about that later. Ooh, I got a little mark on my head. And I'm putting on the raid helmet that Michelle, my wife, made. And it's supposed to say 2022. Where's... Oh, okay, here it is. See, these analog things, you have to update, you know, with the highest grade materials for upgrades. So there it is, 2022. There's the raid helmet. This thing's slowly falling apart. Thank you for the raid, Jenna. I know y'all were playing Brass Birmingham. I hope the stream went well. Let us know if you're up to anything else. And new friends and followers and viewers, Laura, thank you for that follow. Welcome. We do silly stuff like the raid helmet. There's Benny the Bit Spare. You'll have to spend bits to find out who Benny is. I'm wearing this Bigfoot hat because this is one of my new hats that I got at Gen Con. This was promoting Bigfoot Smash. Was it Smash and Write or Roll and Smash? A roll and write game based on the Bigfoot monster truck. It was hilarious, and I'll talk about it more. We're going to be talking about all kinds of Gen Con stuff. I'm doing my top 10 Gen Con moments in just a moment. We're just hanging out with chat, catching up because I haven't streamed in like a week because I've been away on the convention. Clydeman has just dropped 100 biddies. Thank you, Clydeman. I appreciate that as always, folks. When you spend bits here on the channel, drop those bits, cheers, or whatever. Benny the Bits Bear shows up. Hi, friends. I'm Benny the Bits Bear. You spend bits, I come out of hibernation. Welcome back to the channel. Ruel has been away, leaving me all alone here with all these games. And thank you, friends, for your continued support. If you are in Gen Con, you may have seen me. I hope you did. Okay, bye. He totally trashes my voice. And my voice is trash right now because of Gen Con. I did bring cough drops and stuff, sort of like to soothe my throat every night. Hopefully they did the job. So far, so good, but I can definitely tell, it's definitely getting a little scratchy here. Gen Y says, what would be the next con to go after Gen Con? I'm not sure I can wait another year. I can't go to Essen. That's just not in the plans for me. My next event, folks, if you're going to be in Vegas, I'll be at the World Series of Board Gaming. Come on down. It's they're going to have gaming as well. I mean, they're going to have the big event. The winner of it's 16 different board games that they're doing to determine the champion. It's going to be from lighter stuff all the way to some of the heavier stuff. And the winner gets 25 grand. I mean, it's no joke. 25 grand, a championship bracelet that's worth 3,000. It's crazy. But I'm gonna be one of the guests. I'm very fortunate to be one of the guests at the thing. So come on down in Vegas. That's the end of September, September 28th through October 2nd. That's my next event. I'm not planning on going to PAX U. As I've told people, well, I'm trying to ramp down some of my convention going for this year. Other stuff happening. But gosh, I had such a great time at Gen Con. I'm seriously thinking about PAX U. I don't know. We'll see. Gen Y says, Whey Ramen is good. Okay, cool. I haven't been there yet. Gonna look into PAX. Yeah, do it, my friend. Do it. Cafe, Patochu. I don't know. Patachu. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yes, they are fantastic. GB Glair says, some of the best Asian food I've ever had was in Montgomery, Alabama. Oh, at a Laotian restaurant thing. Oh, cool. Nice. There's a new Laotian place here in where me and Michelle live, and we try. It was really, really good. Safin Eraser is in the house. Hi, Safin Eraser. Friends, that's one of the people I got to meet was Safin Eraser, one of our moderators, and they were awesome. A very, very fun time with Safin Eraser and others in chat. I was speaking about this earlier, Razor. It was a thrill for me to hang out with you and others from chat, and we played games, we chatted, I ate dinner, and it meant the world to me. So thank you again. Let's continue with chat here before we get to the list. Bing says they had a mini con in the woods while camping. Nice. Playing some Pandemic and talking Frost. Oh, that's cool. I haven't gone camping in years, but I think that'd be neat to go camping and bring games. There's actually a thing up in Southern California here called PineCon. They've been doing this the last few years where they whoever's the organizer, I forget who it was, but they're up in the mountains in LA or outside of LA, and they go for 2 or 3 days in October, and it's just the campground that they rent or the cabin, the facility up there. They rent it all out, and then it's just a gaming weekend. I mean, it sounds really cool. So I may have to try that. Bing says the restaurant for next year I found is Sam's. It is in Carmel. It was really good food, Americana. Thinking about an Asian food. Okay, cool. Taking notes on shoes bites. Oh, good. Yeah, Skechers. Slackfish. It's muy delicioso. Yes. Foglight's feet are still aching. I'm telling you. Excuse me, folks. Those Skechers, they are the real deal. James likes Skechers. Cool. McAdams, I love the hat, man. Thank you, McAdams. Welcome, by the way, first time chatter, McAdams. Good to see you here. That's a cool username. James said, oh yeah, James is there. We're trying to be more. Cloning is not working so far. Jenna Rose does official journaling. Ooh, official journaling. Jenna Rose is so good. Her YouTube channel. So she was doing other stuff like organization, journaling, stuff on her YouTube channel. It's fantastic. And then now she's doing board game streams. I'm very, very happy to see that. Jenna's a new member, the newest member of TLN, Tabletop Live Network as well. Y'all dropping that there, the link in there. That's one of my favorite thing, you know, I want to keep jumping ahead here. Let me take my notes here. I want to get my notes and make sure we are all good here. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just making a note here to make sure I don't talk about certain things. I feel like, okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. Y'all, like I wanted to just jump right into the list, but you know, I wanted to hang out with you first and, you know, catch up a little bit because it's been a while. Let's see. Oh, my co says Jackie's awesome. Played a demo of her rock hard game at Dice Tower West. Cool. Gen Con yearbook, yes. Gen Con yearbook, so satisfying and so grateful for people. Hey, Richard, Ari Matney's here. Getting a playmat signed is a cool alternative. Yeah. Gosh, did I get a playmat signed? Oh, I did get something signed. It's I will talk about it soon. It's also like forget to ask for pictures too. I met Amy and Maggie at Will Call at the Will Call line. So excited to meet them. Amy and Maggie, friends, they are genuinely some of the nicest people I've met since I've been working in board games. I don't know if it's an Australian thing or no, they're lovely people, and I will talk about them more during the top 10 Gen Con list here. Okay, trying to catch up here. I've got all kinds. Kumusta, wow, that was a while ago. I'm so far behind. Thank you, Francis and Jenna. Thank you for the bye Felicias as well, friends. Captain Ongo, kumusta? Laura says, hi, Ruel. So, all my Pinoys, all my Pinais, all my Filipino peeps, thank you for joining. Good to see you. Sub want gum. Yes. Giggles is here as well. Thank you. Please follow your boy. Hello, Jenna. Good to see you as well. I'm so late on these chats. I'm sorry, friends. Relearning brass was rough, especially doing on. You know what? Oh, Captain Ongo, you are Francis, right? Okay. I don't know. I don't mean to dox anyone, but okay, yeah. Relearning brass, like. I played brass over a dozen times. Maybe it's got to be more than that. I swear, I still got to relearn the game every time I play it, because there's a lot of stuff I feel that totally isn't intuitive. You know, like I still to this day, does beer teleport or iron does? Coal, you have to have a network line. Anyway, it's still a fantastic game, and I think it's worth like relearning every time. Boarding around the rail error definitely went smooth. Yeah, you know, the canal is when it's your relearning game, then by the rail it's the full game. Gen Cam played these games. Hi, Gen Cam. Bedtime. Good night, Gen Cam. I'm so excited, but it's all good. I know Gen Cam was streaming earlier, so get some rest, friend, and hope the homework's going well. A little shout out to Benny here. Some Benny folks. Voice is gone too, Gen. Yeah, totally. World Series of Board Game, folks. I'm fired up. Do I have a link for that? I do. Check out that link there, please. Foglight says, I'm debating PAX U now that I know what a GameCon is. Like, yeah, it's... Now, Foglight, from what I hear, I missed PAX U at the last moment last year, unfortunately. But a lot of people prefer PAX U. Because Gen Con, you all saw how that it is overwhelming. They said it's 50,000 people. PAX U is a smaller version of that and more game-based. I mean, they have events. The retail space is not as big. They don't have, like, you know, all these vendors, but it's supposed to be like one of the coolest vibes as far as gaming. I would love to check it out. I want to keep, Jenway says, I want to keep going to cons, meeting friends, and reconnect. Absolutely. And that's the thing, like, as much as I always tell myself, I want to play all these games, want to get all these games at the cons, and it never happens. So I've just accepted that about myself. And I knew coming in that it was going to be like this, because Gen Con for me, and a lot of folks that are working in the industry, this is the one for industry, right? And I don't know, Ari Matney, were you there? I just assumed I'd see you on the street like I did last time, and last time it was fun. We ran into each other on the street, and then we ended up, you know, having a drink later on at a mutual friend's gig at a local tavern. He was our friend Marcelo from Devere. He's a DJ as well, so we got to see that. But that was last year. Unfortunately, I didn't make it this year to that event. I got stuck somewhere else. Not stuck, but I had other events to go to this time. Boated Belly, always vote for BGG Con. That's the one that's really high up on my list. There's 3 that I really want to go to. PAX U, BGG Con, and then Shucks as well. Shucks I can't do this year because I'll be at a World Series of Board Game. Yep, Board Game Feast. There it is. So why not Shucks? Softening Razor, Boated Belly, so much gaming. Yep, plus a chance to play all the big games from Essen. There it is. And yes, Softening Razor, it is in Texas, I believe. Charity Board Gamer, I miss you and everyone else already. Thank you, Charity Board Gamer. Your event on Saturday, my friend, was a huge success and well done. Thank you for putting that together. You know, it's just a big open gaming event. I love the fact that yes, there was gaming going on, but there was a lot of just, you know, people hanging out and meeting for the first time or reconnecting. Oh, it was fantastic. Love the charity board gamer event. Software and Razor. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Gauntlet. That was fun. The Gauntlet was this really cool thing that they had at the charity board game event, where it's like a bunch of different games that you, like dexterity type games that you go down a line and you do like one part of it, I think, and then go to the next one, and whoever can do it the fastest won a prize. I think Paula Demon. I know I heard Paula's name. She was in like 3rd or 4th place overall. And she won a game, so that was really neat. Board game garden. Much love to you, both you, Jenna Rose and Francis. What's your favorite finds at Gen Con? I'll be getting to that in just a second. Shu, what is up? You may be on this list, my friend. I've got my top 10 Gen Con moments coming up real soon. James says, Legends and I, yes, thank you, James, for doing that. Legends and I extended Role Player Solo 1 week. We'll start a new challenge next Saturday for those with Explorers. I still need to get a copy of Explorers, but I did get my copy of Role Player in before I went to Gen Con, so I'm ready to, hopefully I'll stream it on Thursday or Friday. The Discord channel is open. Come on, join us. It's a family-friendly channel. Legends and James run our solo challenges. It's a new game every couple of weeks, and we solo the game, take pictures, record our scores, and just, it's a fun way to play solo games and see, you know, chat with others and see how they like the experience. We've had a lot of great ones. We've done Three Sisters, role players coming up, all kinds of stuff. We've even done, like, did we do an Azul? I think we did an Azul one, like a variant, right? Anyways. There's also Stella, another. Oh yeah, Stella's an amazing Australian. I met her for the first time as well. Met so many awesome Australians after I left Working Feast. That's right, Working Feast leaves Australia, then all of a sudden the cool people start going. Shu says, teleporting beer. Yeah, now that would be the life, right? But yeah, something about the beer and brass, I always forget it, and I haven't played Lancashire yet. I've only played Birmingham, and that one has got the beer, right? But the other one doesn't. Beer moves like rum runners moving a moonshine. Wacky Tabaxi Tavern, another friend I got to meet in real life. We're talking Gen Con, my top 10 moments. I haven't even gotten to the top 10 moments. I'm just loving everyone hanging out here and chatting and, you know, putting faces to chat names. It was wonderful. And Wacky Tabaxi also streams. If you don't follow him already, you all need to follow him. And yeah, Wacky, it was such a pleasure, you know, again, putting the face to the name, and also just me. I mean, I knew what your face looked like because I follow you, you know, watch your streams, but just having that human interaction, and we had really, you know, a nice conversation at the Charity Board Gamers event. So again, thanks to Chris for putting that together so we could have those type of moments. All right. Oh, you were not. Okay. Last year was not my favorite, so I just, oh, okay. From what I heard, this year, well, actually, yeah, this year was pretty much back to normal for Gen Con, and every single publisher I talked to, I had 45 meetings with publishers, different publishers throughout 4 days. Every single one, well, okay, I don't want to say every single one, because I don't think every single one might have given me this, but the big majority of them said they were like crushing it as far as sales. I know a couple, like, okay, so perfect example, I ran into Frank of City of Games, this gentleman here, the Isle of Cats. He sold out all of his stuff on the first day, which is great, but also sort of a bummer because he could have brought a lot more, made more sales. But, you know, I think he was just directing people to order online. But, you know, he had Isle of Cats, he had Explore and Draw. And I was talking to Rahdo earlier today. Rahdo says, hey, it's because we hyped up Isle of Cats and Explore and Draw so much that he sold out. But it wasn't just us. Everyone knows it's a wonderful game. Both of those games are. And by the way, Shu, thanks for following. You get a... again, Shu and also Berto Fresh and Jeffrey and Raquel. This is Felicia the Follow Fish. We do analog alerts here on the channel. And whenever we get new followers, Felicia shows up. She swims around, says hello. Then she swims away. And all of us, including y'all in chat, we say, bye, Felicia. Thanks for the follow, Berto Fresh, Jeffrey Raquel, Laura we thanked earlier, and of course, our friend Dan Shusu. Time Roller's in the house. Hello. And Kel the Funky Alien. So nice to meet you as well. Yeah, Wacky. I was thinking the same thing. That Gauntlet. I wasn't able to get on there, but it was he's Wacky Tabaxi says that Gauntlet was harder than it looked. I just assumed it was super hard because those games always look easy to me, those dexterity things, but I know from experience it's brutal. Okay, continuing down here, trying to catch up with chat. It's all good, folks. Keep chatting because I'm gonna get to the list real soon here. Board Game Guard says, yeah, Brass is a great game, but what needs to be connected and what doesn't is definitely, yeah, it's just not intuitive, you know. I still love the game, but yeah, it's one of those things, and unless you play it every day, you know, it does remain sort of unintuitive. Board Game Garden says, I'm so jealous hearing all the wonderful people you met, Ruel. I am very, very grateful for the opportunity to meet and connect with so many folks, Jenna. It was, you know, if anything, I mean, Gen Con can be very overwhelming, and it was for me at times too. Every night, I was putting in full days, you know, and it was like, you know, 12-hour days, you know, getting up, eating breakfast, and, you know, I don't usually do this. I was skipping lunch. I was eating very light lunches, you know, trying to go with snacks, snack bars, that type of thing. Not the healthiest, but, you know, I totally overbooked myself, but I'm really proud of the fact that I got through all the meetings, and I had very, very good meetings, response and to all the stuff I'm doing. So I'm grateful for that. But, you know, on top of that, being able to talk to people and meet people for the first time, a lot of you all in chat, and just, you know, people who watch the R&R show and other people who've seen, you know, what I do with, you know, Becca on the Good Time Society. It was so cool to connect with folks, and we're all nerds. We're all just, you know, we all love nerdy stuff, and we love playing board games, and it's just so cool. It's like, yeah, you love board games, I love board games, let's be friends, you know. And some of the friends, here's a snack, here's, you know, here's a cookie, here's it just blows me away. Michelle and I talk, you know, we always talk about how fortunate we are to be into this hobby, because there are so many great people we met. Yes, I'm not trying to gloss over the fact that this hobby, this industry, like any other, has problems. Some of the toxicity that's out there, some of the bad actors there. But you know what? We will, you know, continue the fight against that. And we're, you know, I'm all about positivity. The positive people, we're going to stay together and do our thing and keep making this my all-time. This is the greatest hobby I've ever been involved with throughout my lifetime. So we will continue the good vibes here, at least here on Tabletop tonight. Kel the Funky Alien. I love that. I love that username, by the way. Kel the Funky Alien. Was that? It's a playoff. What's the name, right? Del the Homo Sapien, right? The yearbook signing. I had this. I'm so thrilled about this. Shoes in here. Shoe signed it. I'm not going to read what everyone wrote here, even though it's sort of public. I don't know, but okay, here's one. I know she wouldn't mind me reading this. And this was probably one of the funniest ones that I got. Let me see. It was here. Let me just put this up here. I'll always remember the fun times we shared at Gen Con, and especially all the homework. Keep cool, keep gaming. KIT, Paula Deming. Paula, when I handed her to her, she's like, I got homework now. And so it was really funny. So thank you, Paula, for signing. A lot of people signed it, and I should probably share a few more. It was so good. I loved it. Thank you for the lurk. Oh, no, thank you for the unlurk of Variant Hex. Thank you for coming back. Razor says Frank sold out in 3 hours. Okay, so Isle of Cats, 3 hours gone. Wow. Wow. Oh, Wacky, thank you. Sign your yearbook was one of the top 10 Gen Con modes. I love that. Variant Hex, yes, 45 meetings. That's a Variant Hex. I got to see Variant Hex at the start of the con and also at the end of the con. And a little, yeah, pretty much. I think we might have bumped into each other during the con. I don't remember, but definitely the start and end. But yeah, it was basically minimum 10 meetings per day. And then it was like almost 10 meetings a day. Saturday was sort of light meeting wise because I was doing streaming stuff. So then Sunday I sort of like pushed a bunch back, and I started doing cold calls at the end. So I wanted to meet with Mattel's people, Mattel, the toy / gaming manufacturer. I really wanted to meet with them. I didn't have an in, so I just went up there and cold called. It's like, hey, my name's Ruel. Here's my media sheet. Blah blah blah. I also did that with a couple of other companies, and hopefully those went well. We shall see, because I would love to work with Mattel and, you know, company like, you know, Funko and stuff like that. But, you know, there's a ton of companies there. I didn't get to visit all their booths, unfortunately, but you only have so much time, right? And my feet can only go so far, folks. Charity Borges, it was a joy in my way of seeing a majority of my friends and smile. Agreed. indeed. Thank you for all the By Felicia's friends. Always good. Twin Flowers here as well. Thank you, Twin Flower. Love that. Mick Adams, you jumped right in with the By Felicia. You are one of the Fam Bam now, friend. Fam Bam, you can find more of us on my Discord channel. Please join there. Board Game Garden, did you have a meeting with 25th Century? There once. I would love to chat. Board Game Garden. Talk to Chad. He's a wonderful human being. Chris from the Charity Board Gamer works with him closely as well. Just a really good guy, and I've had the pleasure of working with them. I have a couple other games. Do I have one here on the table? I don't have one on the table right now, but they make solid products. That edition of Raw that I have here, it's an early production, but chef's kiss. Reiner Knizia, 25th Century Games production. Boom, awesome. I also have no, it's back over there now. Kahuka. I can't even say it now. Someone, folks, Kahuku. I don't even remember the name. I'm all getting tongue twisted. But you know, the one with the fish and the acrylic tiles. Beautiful, beautiful games. Board Game Feast. Literally just played Crypto Cafe. Oh, cool. I just got Crypto Cafe. Did you like it, Daniel? Let me know. Dino, you were too nice. Thank you. I can say that Ruel is good as advertised. You are also my friend. That was very, very kind of you. Thank you for that. Gen Y, average 4 hours of sleep. Gen Con. I think I was around the same thing. Jen, yeah. Definitely. Gartenbaugh, Cryptocat, and Blazon. Yeah. Did someone have Gartenbaugh? I don't know if that was being played or not. Blazon looks good. Peacemakers aren't afraid to turn tables when it comes to toxicity. That's probably one of my favorite comments in this chat. Thank you for that, Charity Board Game. Yes. We are the Peacemakers. Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I knew it. I know my old school hip hop. I will say that Indy is, Dino says, I will say that Indy is very much a convention town. The Gen Con crowd is the favorite among all the downtown service folks. That's good to hear, and I'm glad to hear that because, again, we're just nerds. We just want to play games. I love the fact that I stepped off the plane, everyone else did, and the first thing you do when you get in the Indy airport, you see game tables, and it says, welcome gamers. I love that. And there's people playing games, you know, it's so cool. Yeah, Sleep, what is that? I don't know. First time chatter. Great to see you. Did you get to play TABLETOP from Board and Dice? Thank you for hanging out with us, by the way, Gray. I did not play it. I got an overview and sort of a demo of it. It looks really good. So it's not as heavy as... So it's the latest T game that's coming out from Board and Dice. I think Rainer said Essen or maybe the end of this year. It's not quite like Teotihuacan level, but it's not quite Zapotec level. So it's like... Not as light as Zapotec, but not as heavy as Teotihuacan. So it's sort of like mid-weight, I guess, from what they were telling me. So, I mean, it looks good. It's got like dice placement, like a dice placement action selection. It's going to be good, folks. I mean, come on. Board and Dice, they always knock it out of the park. Bing says, to me, the hobby brings so many different backgrounds together, be they conservatives, liberals, Christians, or the atheists, or whatever it is, and we can all get together, put our side. Yeah, agreed. You know, there's people have all kinds of beliefs, you know, everything else. Whatever, and you can still play games. Excuse me. Got it, Jet. Everyone, love you, Charity Board Game. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, Chris. Jen Y says, Saturday was when I hit the wall. I need to pace better. I was feeling it on Saturday for sure. And then I got my second win Sunday. Then Monday morning it hit me. It was really tough to get up. Night. Thank you for the first time chat. Slappy taps. Amen. Thank you, friend. Variant. Yeah, with all those people, it's crazy how you can still bump into someone a few times, right? Again, 50,000 people. It's like, I love seeing familiar faces, and yet you cannot see everyone or everything. I didn't even... So, folks, the convention center, that's where the exhibit hall is, a bunch of, you know, event meetups, blah, blah, blah. You know, Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts play, across the street, down the street, that's where, like, open gaming and stuff. They had another whole thing, and then there's open gaming at the JW Marriott. It's ginormous. I didn't even get to those areas. It's just too big. I mean, it's like San Diego Comic-Con for gamers. There's a ton of stuff to do. You will never do it all. So don't think you're gonna. Don't try. Just pick what you want to do and enjoy it. And for me, that's how I do it. I knew it was business for me, but I also I was very grateful that people were able to schedule, like, just fun meetups as well. And oh man, well, we're gonna talk about it. I swear, I'm gonna talk it out soon, folks. Yeah, Variant Hess was talking. They did a Tai Chi sword class Sunday morning. Totally recenters for the last day. I think that's so neat, and I really want to take advantage of something like that next time. I feel like maybe do like a yoga class maybe even once a day, or some kind of meditation. That was my bad. Like, I had my Calm app, the meditation app. I should have been doing that, but I get so wound up, and I'm like thinking, business, and then it's like, oh, it's so fun. Like, I get so excited about meeting people, and like I forget to you really need to center yourself. Sniping Test, how busy with Gen Con this year? From what I heard, it was just like any other Gen Con. It was back to full capacity, of course, with mass and vaccinations, which I love the fact that they did that. But yeah, 50,000 people this year, friend. Linnaeus Cabal, hello, Linnea. It was so nice to meet you. That's another person that I got to meet in real life. Wonderful, wonderful. I hope I'm not describing you all the same, because you are all wonderful, everyone that I met, and I truly mean that. I saw Michelle. It's like, oh, I met this, or I was showing Michelle pictures. I'm like, oh, I met them. I met him. I met her. I was like, oh, it was, and she's all, and I was like, they were all great. And Michelle was like, you know what? That's the reason why we all hang out, because good people attract each other. So I would like to think that we're all good people. I know we are, but again, it just confirms it. Board Game Wire is the Board Game Wire. I need all garden and flower theme games. It just, oh yeah. So Planted, what was the other one? I just picked one up called Evergreen. Have you seen Evergreen, folks? My buddy Jarba Gaming, I had no idea this game existed. He pointed out, I bought him a copy. I picked up a copy for myself. It looks good. It's another like gardening theme one. So Evergreen from Horrible Guild, I believe. Great Deceiver, no problem. Good to have you here, friend. TABLETOP was amazing. Got demoed by Steph. Steph Hodge is fantastic. Her and her partner Michael, good people. Very, very good people. I'm glad. I actually tried to demo this one, Terracotta Army. Oh, no, not. Was it Terracotta? Yeah, it was. Steph and Michael were going to demo this. And I was so excited because I was going to demo it with Defoob and Colorfly. We're going to meet there because we haven't played a game yet. We get there right at 10, and someone had already gotten in for the demo. Like, what? It is what it is. It was a lost opportunity, but oh well. It was a bummer, but it's all good. There was plenty of other things to do. Indy lives for conventions. Very nice. And the Indy 500. Cool. Bing says the city is striving to become the premier convention city in the world. I'm gonna say this. I think it's a wonderful city for a convention. The way everything's laid out and stuff. But do I bring this up? Yeah. Politically, the decision by Indiana regarding abortion, I don't agree with it, and we'll leave it there. There's been some rumblings, like, I know Gen Con is locked into Indy for a few years, but we'll see. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to get into that here. This is not the time or place. Foglight says, that's why I planned nothing with it being my first con. That's wonderful. Folks, that should be an evergreen comment. If you go to your first con, don't plan anything. There's no pressure. Maybe plan one thing, maybe one game or two games, or one game a day, I don't know. But go meet your friends. Meet those people you haven't met in real life, on Twitch or wherever. I think that's a wonderful way to go about it. Oh, thank you, Lynn. You also said the kindest things to me. It totally meant, and again, the things that people wrote in this yearbook of mine, I cannot thank you all enough, because that is going to be my pick-me-up whenever I'm feeling down for whatever reason. I love it so much. Oh my God, I always have a list of things I like to do. Yep, games I like to play, and prioritize any panels. Then we just use it as a guide and go with the flow. Another excellent way to do it. Be okay with missing things, because you can't do it all. There it is. Yes. Oh, yes, 100% buying Evergreen and Plan when it comes to Canada. Oh, Planted. Oh, that's right. Planted hasn't made it over there yet. Okay, cool. Linus Cabal says, my partner heard it too and said, I had no idea you connected with people so much through Twitch, and it gave him a new perspective. That's so cool. It's so cool. Yeah, I love that. And Michelle and I felt that as well at Dice Tower West this last year. Again, just, everyone that we met. A lot of love, board game love, if you will. Other than that, I agree. Indy seems to be set up nicely for cons. It really is. Yeah, it really is. Centralized. Yep, all locations together. I was at the Hilton, 10-minute walking distance, 5 minutes to Cafe Patacho or whatever. My favorite cafe, but everything's connected. So easy. Foglight says, I wasted a lot of time being anxious and not going up to people. It was unexpected. I do regret hiding from people. No worries. What's Foglight and anyone that struggles with that, again, you do what you do to go to the fact that you're there is awesome. And then whatever is in your ability to handle, you go with it. You know, I mean, you can't see everyone, you can't meet everyone. I don't know if Henry's still here. Henry had posted that he saw me and Paula Deming last year. He had said, "Hey, I saw you guys. I was a little shy. I was like," and me and Paula both immediately tweeted, "No worries. Next time, just say hi. It's all good." We didn't see him I didn't see him last year, but this year he made it a point. His partner, I don't know if I should. Well, he said his partner's more of an extrovert than he is. So, you know, they came up to me while I was at the Savranti booth, and they said hello, and it was wonderful. Again, just meeting Henry, you know, is just so humble and kind, and, you know, for him to talk with me, I know it can be tough to do things like that. Me personally, I know it can be tough. So, again, the fact that you did it, kudos to you, Foglight, and Henry, and whoever else. Stay within your comfort zone. Never, you know, if you're not comfortable, go take a break. Go recharge. Nothing wrong with that. The con will still be there. Yes, you're not going to do all the 1,000 things, 10,000 people you want to meet. You can't meet them all. You can't do it all. It's all good. There's always next year. There's always the next convention. You're here in Twitch. Your presence means a lot. You know, hanging out here is all good. So thank you. Let's see. Razor says, anyone remember the name of the game? Oh, I was just talking about that. Wait, name of the game about building constellations? No, I wasn't. I was thinking of, I just thought of the name of the game. Did we play The City, Razor? Or did I play that with, maybe it was Julia. I don't know. But that one about constellations, was that? Shoot. Now it just totally blanked. Oh, hopefully we'll figure it out. Pat Achu. Thank you, Variant Hex. Pat Achu. That's how they say it. Okay, cool. James says, that would be me totally freeze if I go to a convention. Yeah. You know, one thing I wish they did, maybe we should just sort of like try to promote this, but the badges, they have your real name, right? Your government name, so to speak. You should just be able to like put your screen name on there. It'd be so much easier, right? You know, hey, you know, Legends, or, you know, Stopping Your Razor. It's just easier that way. I wish they would do that. Maybe we could just, I don't know, put post-its or do that way. Bobby says, I really didn't expect it to be that way as bad, at least. It threw me off. Again, nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to, you know, no sweat. This is, I like to think of this as a safe space, you know, so I thank you for sharing that, Foglight, and anyone else that struggles or who may think they struggle, you know. Again, it was a pleasure meeting you, Foglight. I know you met a bunch of other people too, so very, very cool. When Francis and I went to our first con, Board Game Garden says, a month ago, I was super nervous as well. Didn't put too much pressure on forcing myself to talk to too many people. And that's another thing, like personally here, Michelle, I'm obviously the extrovert in our relationship. Michelle's more of an introvert, so I handle that type of stuff, right? Michelle has, you know, we know she has a certain capacity for, you know, meeting folk, and then she needs to, you know, disengage after a while and just, you know, recharge. And I get that. My threshold is much higher, and like, there's nothing wrong with it. People work in different ways, you know. So again, always do what's most comfortable for you. And I think it just leads in general to a better quality of, you know, conversation, because, you know, people tend to know when if you're not into it, you know, and then you're not feeling it, you want to get going. Again, go listen to yourself, listen to your body. And it's all about taking care of yourself and your mental health. So yeah. Henry says, my wife is she was a wonderful person, Henry. She really was. Anxious first, but seldom never. Yeah, that's another thing too. Once you're in there, especially after like the first day, the second day, you have sort of a more routine. You get sort of that convention flow. You get used to it. I shall try not to be that way next time. You know what? If you are, that's all good too. Just do your thing. You know, there's other conventions. And Sophie Norris says, we played Super Mega Lucky Box and Cat in the Box. That's right. We've played 2 games with Box in the title. Look at the Stars. I think that's it, Shu. Isn't that the one by Tate? That's what I was thinking. Foglight says, it was a cool thing to learn people's real names. I always guessed it was never correct. Got to try Planet Unknown as well. I really want to try that. I heard that was outstanding. Rick says, was it Twinkle or Starfall? I had Starfall. I don't remember. That was like that Scott Alms game from back in the day, right? By the way, hi, Rick. Clydeman says they'd have to put in some sort of filter to make sure people's avatar internet names weren't affected. Oh, yeah, that's another issue. Yeah. Linnea says, some folks on Saturday night had their handles written on their badge in Sharpie. It was so smart. You know what? I'm going to do that too. Though my handle is kind of cheap since it has my name. Hey, it's all, well, Wait, what am I? I'm like, I'll do it too. My name is literally Ruel Gaviola on all my socials. So, but I think that's a great idea. Why not? Oh, it was Starfall. Okay, cool, Razor. Look at the Stars was amazing. It was on my list. Nice. Emma Larkin is just. Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. Yes, Emma. Was that Look at the Stars? Now, yeah, Emma Larkins is so. I got to. She gave me like the quick overview. I'm thinking, did she give me a little? No, she did not give me like a media sheet. I just took a picture of it. Planet Known is amazing. That's what I hear. Okay. One of the publishers had ribbons right. Oh, Twitch handles. That's sweet. Okay. Hey, folks, we're an hour in. I haven't talked anything about my top 10 moments, but as you can tell, a bunch of these moments were just meant a lot to me. So thank you for hanging out with me today. Folks, I'm going to get to it right now. And y'all know the way I do this is my top 10 Gen Con moments. I've got the analog alerts. Number 10, I'm going to jump right into it, is the snack exchange. That goes up here. What the heck is a snack exchange? Glad you asked, Ruel. The snack exchange was just something that, you know, I wanted to do. I just did it with a couple of friends, but I had mentioned to friends Defoob and Colorflies, like, wow, I miss all dressed chips from Canada. These Ruffles here, they brought this down, and we didn't really plan an exchange. They just surprised me with this, and I felt bad. I was like, man, did I bring anything? I think I might have given some Jolly Ranchers, but I didn't have anything specific that I knew that they wanted. But these chips, folks, this is by far my favorite chip flavor. It's all dressed, and it's basically, if you like American barbecue chips, think of barbecue flavored chips, but better. That's all this is. It says it has like ketchup and oil and vinegar and onion and all this stuff. Whatever it is, it works. And I tried this on their recommendation, and this was like last year. They had it in the US for just a short while, like a month, and they were just all gone. I was so sad, and I have not had any since. But this, not only did Defoob and Colorfly give me one, but that weird guy of Doom, I think that's his handle. Excuse me, he's on the Discord. He also gave me a bag. So I got 2 bags of these. And I was so afraid I wasn't going to fit them in my bag coming home. I was like, I'm going to make it fit. So they fit. So this is the unopened bag. I have an open bag in the kitchen. So that's my number 10 moment of Gen Con, the snack exchange. Wait, I'm not done. Tim Tams from my friends Amy and Maggie, all the way from Australia. They brought Tim Tams, and so did Stella from Meeple University. Stella actually posted on Facebook that she posted a picture of all these Tim Tams. I was like, whoa, how do I get one of those? And she's like, just bring whatever, we'll trade. I was like, what do you want? She's like, it doesn't matter. And then with Amy and Maggie, they had gifted Tim Tams to me and Michelle at Dice Tower West. And, you know, I wasn't sure. I think we talked. I was like, oh, I'd love some Tim Tams. And then what I did was, I have a cousin that lives in Australia, and I haven't seen her a couple of years, but I remember that she specifically wanted certain things from America, from the US, and they were Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And that was the one. Then I Googled, like, what else are things that Australians like that are American, like candies or whatever. Butterfinger is not common out there, and so are Jolly Ranchers. So I got a bunch of those, gave them to Amy and Maggie, gave them to Stella at Maple University, and I got Tim Tams. I got this. This is from Amy and Maggie, the double-coated Tim Tams, which I'd never seen in the U.S. And then Maple University, Stella gave us Tim Tams, the salted caramel flavor. Oh, so good. I mean, I love Tim Tams. They call them biscuits in Australia. They're like, for American taste, I would say they're like wafers. And Shu, I know you have a good story about Tim Tams you'd like to share in chat. But anyways, that's my number 10, the snack exchange. I would be remiss to, what was, okay, here it is here. I don't want to forget what Variant Hex did. It was, you know what, I gotta find a picture. Let's go over here. I'm gonna share this, folks, because Variant Hex, folks, Variant Hex welcomed me to Indianapolis with that. Look at this. Liquid Death. There's no Topo Chico, so we went Liquid Death. Stickers. There's that circles with the star. That's Circle City. That's Indianapolis. And then some nerdy stuff. Doctor Who. And I think it's video like Nintendo NES. These are all local snacks, folks. I mean, my hat is off to you, Variant Hex. You know, we've talked about this already. I mean, the chips are locally made. The gummy bears are locally made. The Guinness is not that. But that's a non-alcoholic Guinness because I don't really drink anymore. But oh wow! And then another drink there, I forget the name of that one. Then popcorn. I still have 2 of the bags on the left there. The one that I finished was, Oh no, I think it was the homegrown one. It was almost like Cracker Jack. It was some of the popcorn was cheese and some was like caramel. Oh, it was like the perfect blend of sweet and salty. Variant Hex, thank you so much. Look at that, folks. I got this. Variant Hex dropped it off in the morning. Just met at the lobby of my hotel. I brought it up, and this was staring at me. When I got back from that first day, and I dove right into it. So good. Oh my gosh, yeah, so good. Ultimate Gummies, what a classic Midwest treat. Yeah, this was such a delight, and it was so nice. I cannot get over this, and Variant Hex. I mean, I told you in person already, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. I felt so welcomed, and you know what? I was thinking, I've been a guest at different convention or whatever. I've never had like this type of like welcome package. It's just so cool. I never had it, so thank you for that. Really means a lot, and it made me feel welcome. It really did. So that's my number 10, folks. The snack exchange and also the gifting of snacks as well. Let's move on to our number 9, and so this is going to be game related, but not the latest hotness. Number 9 is Grease Lightning. And now check out Grease. Now we're talking about Grease Lightning, like from Grease. The movie Grease. I do want to shout out and send much love to Olivia Newton-John. I know she's one of my wife's favorites, and she just passed away yesterday. But anyways, this is a play on the name Grease Lightning. If you're asking what the heck is this guy doing, the post-it notes, folks, if you're new to the channel, Tabletop Tonight, we're all about analog alerts. So this is as analog as I can get. Number 9 is Grease Lightning. This game that came out, I believe, last year through WizKids. This is something I was hyped about because on the R&R show, the Rahdo show that we do once a month, we were doing it once a week at the time. But I just love the name. And then I was looking at it. It's a race game with variable setup. It's got dice chucking. And I'm like, I'm all in on that. But I couldn't find a copy of it. I don't know if it was sold out or just out of print, or maybe I just couldn't find it available. But it turns out I went to a party on Friday night, an after party at one of the local bars. I sort of crashed it. Like, there was friends, and they said, come on with us. I was like, okay, cool. And Kathleen Mercury, who I've followed for years. She's, a prominent figure in the board game industry. She's a teacher. She's actually out in the somewhere in Eastern Europe right now, but I think she's coming back to teach in the U.S. But she's a teacher, game designer, and this is her game, her published game. So she saw me walk in the bar, she saw Ruel, and I was like, hi, Kathleen, so nice to meet you. And then she was just so gracious with her time and her some very nice comments she made. And she said, it was nice of us to, hype up her game. And I was like, I wasn't just hyping up to hype it. I was genuinely hyped. And I told her I don't even have a copy. And she's like, I can change that. So the next day I was doing something else, and she came up with the copy and she signed it, and it was so nice. And Kathleen, thank you. That made my day. Just for someone to, she remembered that I'd said that night before, and the next day she made it a point to find me and not only give me the game but autograph it. So thank you, Kathleen. That's my number 9 moment at Gen Con. You know what? I should go back and give some honorable mentions. There's honorable mentions. I don't have stickers for them. The one of the honorable mentions, we've been talking about it, and honestly, these could be any order. This could be my number 1, honestly. But, having the yearbook, having people sign the yearbook, it was really neat to see that, like, Bree from Lucky Duck Games, Jess CCG, Amanda Panda, people started getting their own yearbooks too. And I was like, man, that is so cool. I would love to see everyone have a Gen Con yearbook. And so with the Gen Con yearbook, what I did was, just take this book from our friends at Ivy Studio. They gave me a while ago. And I had my schedule written in here, handwritten, but I decided, why not make it a yearbook? And I just had people sign it. It's like, just sign whatever you want, folks. And people were like, some of them went with the yearbook theme and made it funny, but some really were just very kind. So I cannot thank them enough. That's one of my honorable mentions. The other ones I want to mention are, I'll get back to them. I'll save them. We're gonna talk here. Linnea said, Cabal says the yearbook was so fun. Also, Brie also, yeah, love the Gen Con yearbook idea. And Legends DM, his Gen Con, or his yearbook for Dice Star West was his cards. He actually made a game, and we signed his cards, which is great. Okay, let's get back to the list. Let's go to my number 8 for my top 10 moments at Gen Con. Number 8, I don't know if Shu's still in here, but my number 8 is Gen Con TV. Whoops. Gen Con TV was on the entire time, and I was very fortunate to work with JC Smith and his team to do some live streaming there. So I did a preview show in the morning with Kimberly Tolson of the Rahdo channel. It was really neat. A bunch of us Rahdo channel folk were there. I got to hang out with her and do the preview show. And I actually met Kimberly. Let me find a picture here. We actually met the night before at another event. Let me see if I can share that. Yeah, here. Here we are. There's Kimberly Tolson. We met at this 16-bit bar arcade. It was cool. You can see the old school video games back. That's, I think, Joust might be one, and that Kicks is another one. So it was like a bar where they just had all these 80s video games, and a company put together an event there. And we got to know each other, and then the next day we streamed our preview of Gen Con. And then later on, and now I feel sort of bad. I don't think we took a picture together, Shu. But Shu and Christina from Going Analog, they joined me for the wrap-up show. So this was at 9 p.m. Eastern. So it was like a look back at all the cool stuff we enjoyed at Gen Con. We talked about games. We talked about a bunch of non-gaming stuff as well. So Shu and Christina, if you don't follow them, folks, please do. They are Going Analog. They do a podcast. They do a for my money, the board game quiz show is like the best trivia / board game show out there. I'm not biased. I am the reigning, defending season 1 champion, but that doesn't matter. But Christina and Shu, they're some of the nicest people you ever meet. They host these awesome game days at their home here in Southern California, and really cool to see them doing their thing. And it was a great, I don't think we ever produced no, I've been on their podcast before, and also the, you know, of course, as reigning champion of season 1, I was on their board game quiz show, but we haven't live streamed together, so that was a real treat. And that's why it's my number 8 Gen Con moment. Let's move on to number 7. I sort of alluded to this earlier, but my number 7 was the Ivy Studio dinner. Oh wait, I have another one underneath it. Whoops. Number 7 is the Ivy Studio dinner, and what that was, I want to say thank you to Austin on Ivy Studio. They're the ones that do Moonrakers and also Veiled Fate, and they just had they just did what was the other one, Mythic Mischief as well. Austin was kind enough to, he did a couple of things for me, and he's done quite a few things for me. Last year he had me out to Nashville to film video. This year he's the one that was able to get me an exhibitor badge, which you know, so I was with Ivy Studio. I was able to hang out, and with the exhibitor badge you get in a little earlier than the rest of the crowds, which was cool. But I didn't always take advantage of it because I was really close to the wire as far as getting into the convention, because I was, you know, eating and meeting with other folk in the morning. But Austin is and their whole team, I love their team. But the restaurant we went to, definitely my best meal of the con, at Root and Bone. It's sort of like this southern food, like modern southern food take. So let me see if I can pull up a picture of that. I had these shrimp and grits that were chef's kiss, absolutely delish. Also had a martini, which had some habanero, so I had a little spice to it. I had the martini, had a little spice. Also, and I didn't take a picture of this, which I'm really bummed about. I had the best deviled egg I've ever had in my life. So Root and Bone in Indy, you have the best deviled egg in the world, friends. Well done. Kudos to you. Did I have any pictures of... I know I didn't have... Okay, here's a picture of the shrimp and grits. No, that's a picture of what's on my table. Sorry, folks. You'll see that in a little bit. There's a shrimp and grits. Oh, my goodness gracious. It was wonderful. And... yeah, I wish I would have taken... I didn't take a picture of the deviled eggs, unfortunately. But anyways, the dinner was excellent. The company was fantastic. I had dinner with their whole team. Also, Becca Scott and her partner, David, and also Paula Deming. We're all just there hanging out, having a good time. And I love the team there. They do such great work. And again, thanks for the dinner, Ivy Studios in Austin. Thank you for getting me the exhibitor badge. That's my number 7. Let's move on to my number 6. Number 6 moment is Hoop Gods, the new game from Omari Akil, who has quickly shot up the rankings as one of my favorite designers. Hoop Gods I got to try out with Omari last year on a live stream on my channel, and right after we got done with it, or it might have been during the stream, I backed it. I was like, I'm all in. Give me the deluxe, whatever you got. It is a basketball themed game. I've never like right now. My favorite sports game of all time, Baseball Highlights 2045. As far as board games, Hoop Gods, and I've only played it on TTS and once in person at a convention. It's going to be my top 5, if not my second favorite. It is wonderful. At its heart, it's a skirmish game. You've got figures. You actually do have to think about line of sight because that's where you're passing the ball. And it's hand management. It's so good. He's worked in the theme perfectly for street ball, a 3-on-3 match. And what we did was we did a live team play at the convention. It was me and Amanda Panda versus Casey Brainajar and versus Benita Core. And then Omari and his buddy Jerry were doing color commentary. Now Jerry's a stand-up comedian, or I think he was a comedian. He was hilarious, and it was just great. It was back and forth. We had such a great time with it. Amanda and I jumped out to the early lead. I thought, honestly, we all thought we were going to win the game because it was, as the time runs down in the game, Benita had one shot basically to make a 3-pointer to tie it, and to roll the dice she needed 4 basketballs. So it was like I don't know what percentage chance. It only had to have been like a 10% chance. She rolled the dice and they're all basketballs. I'm like, what? So it was like, it was called the Hail Mary. It was like a desperation heave. Steph Curry from half court, and she made it, and we just went wild. And then we went to overtime, and of course, Benita and Casey won. So that was my number 6 moment. It was so fun. I loved the game, and I loved just doing that event. So let's move on to my number 5. And number 5, I have a sample of what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a hint of what it is. Look at this, friends. What the heck is this? I don't know, but it has to do with number 5, Lego. Legos aren't board games, but they're sort of tabletop games. You put them on the tabletop and you try to put them together. But this, folks, is a tea head. You can see the tea head has a little kettle, and then it's got a cup, and he's drinking tea. What this is sovereignty. Sovereignty. I always want to say sovereignty. It's sovereignty. There's the sovereignty. They made a little 3D printed crown because that's the sovereignty logo. Danny from Sovereignty is a big Lego fan. I am a recent convert to the wonderful world of Lego. She's seen Michelle and I stream our R2-D2 build, live stream build. I also built a Luke Skywalker X-Wing during May 4th, the Star Wars Day. And we just started talking to each other on Twitter and also the streams. Like, turns out she's a big Star Wars Lego geek as well. And just on one of the streams, we started talking about, hey, why don't we build Legos at Gen Con? And she's like, let's make it happen. I was like, oh, wait, what? Okay, it's going to happen. So what she did is we did this event at the Sovereignty booth. Yeah, Sovereignty booth, where I just hung out and built Legos for a couple of hours. It was cool. For 2 hours, one was like 12 to 2, I think. And, Danny just provided these little Legos that people could build. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. There's that. Was it here? No, it was after this. Here it is. Okay, let's move on to this. There it is, meet and greet, Ruel Gaviola. And that's the little set. She had 2 of these. They're like just little like creatures or monsters, and you could, the kids or whoever showed up built them. And I think Linnaeus was there. Henry stopped by as well. And all kinds of other people. It was great. It was just so relaxing. Mark Streed from the Dice Tower, he got there before me. He was so pumped because he's another big Lego geek. So we just hung out there and had so much fun putting together Lego and chilling and talking. And man, yeah, Linnaeus is so much fun. I loved it. So much fun. Yeah, the sovereignty. Thank you, Tabletop Rebellion. Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. I signed Linnaeus's bull. They made a little bull, the bull character. There was like a bull. There was like a dragon, I think, and like an owl or something. Oh, this was a lot of fun. And what's funny? There was a couple of people that came and was like, what game is this? I had to explain, no, it's not. We're just building Legos and we're just hanging out. Sovereignty, I had to go through this sort of spiel. Like, they are digital platform for board games, and they had iPads and stuff. You could totally try it out, so it was fun. But yeah, building those Legos, my number 5 moment. And number 4 moment, this was wow. We started this off on Thursday. Well, let me just say, number 4 was baseball. A baseball game, I should have written. But y'all know how much of a fan of baseball I am. I love the American pastime. The Dodgers were the 2020 MLB champions, and I am fan of the Dodgers, obviously. The brothers Murph are fans of the Giants, unfortunately. But, we don't hold them against them. But, we always talk about baseball, and then we found out there's a baseball team right across the street from the convention center. The unfortunately named Indianapolis Indians. Again, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. But, we said, why don't we go catch a game? And it's like, we were so fired up. We invited members of the Fan Bam here and also the Bing Bongs over on their Discord. There was I want to say 15 to 20 of us. And we just walked over there and played a game. It was so cool. It was, seriously, to start off the convention here, let me show a picture. Victory Field, it's right across from the JW Marriott. Not even a block. We're talking just right across the street. And it was $15 for a ticket, folks. And it was minor league ball. It's a AAA affiliate of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And so I went there with the attitude, you know what? I hate the name. They need to change that name. But I want to support those young players because they're chasing their dream. And I respect that. They're chasing the dream and making it to the big leagues. And boy, oh boy, this was so much fun. It was just a day at the park, folks. Here we are. Here's the Brothers Murph, Jazz Cruz from the Lobby of Hobbies, who I met there for the first time. Love you, Jazz. And another baseball fan. Unfortunately, he roots for the Yankees. I don't know. People root for the wrong teams. What are you going to do? Amy and Maggie, Thinker Themer, were there. That's me in the sunlight there. Amy had seen a game, I believe, at one time before, many years ago. Maggie's never seen a game. So it was a real treat to have our friends from Australia. And also the Losers. They had, I know Dave might have seen a game, but Ilka and their son had never seen a game. Oh, it was so much fun. And, me, Nick, and Mike were going crazy, of course. So here's seats. We had $15 seats. It was like the second level there, or the upper level. But the stadium was 13,000 fans. And that's way smaller than a modern, Major League ballpark. Way cheaper. We had hot dogs. It was Thirsty Thursday. I don't know if anyone got, adult beverages, but you could for a couple of bucks. Also joining us was T, and also, oh my gosh, I know I'm forgetting something. I think it's, I'm so sorry, I forgot the name of the channel. They were also there, but T used to be with Haba and Snowbright. It was so much fun, just hanging out, getting fresh air after being in front or being inside the convention center all day long. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I loved it. Nick, Mike, and I said we are going to be doing this as often as we can. So definitely Gen Con. If there's a game, we're definitely going to one. But we're thinking other conventions, if we can go to whatever city. If there's a game, where we're going to hit up. Especially minor league because it's more affordable and just easier to get tickets. We got tickets. We had the whole section to ourselves, basically. You can see there's a bunch of empty seats because, minor league ball is minor league ball. But I would do it in a heartbeat again. I loved it. That's why it's on number 4, Gen Con moment, going to a baseball game with the Brothers Murph and all of our Discord Fan Bam. Just thank you, friends, again. Speaking of Fan Bam, my number 3 moment, I hope y'all don't mind me sharing this picture. They did give me the okay to do socials. I'm very guarded about sharing too many photos online, but So Soften Your Razor and Variant Hex, just if you're okay with me sharing the pictures, just let me know in chat. I'm just going to share a picture of us at dinner. So my number 3 is a Fan Bam dinner. This is, again, all of these moments are so meaningful to me. In our Discord channel, we had a Gen Con channel within the Discord where, we're just meeting up, trying to plan our meetups, and hey, where can we meet up? Where can we hang out and stuff? Thank you, Razor. Appreciate that. Where or what are we going to do? So, and everyone was very, very understanding about my crazy schedule. So I appreciate y'all, being able to work with me, but I was able to see a lot of you, and I was also able to have dinner with 2 of you. So, Variant Hex, thank you. Variant Hex and Soften Your Razor. I'd never had real Chicago style pizza. Although we weren't in Chicago, it's still, I want to say it's close enough, right? But Giordano's apparently is a well-known Chicago style pizza place, and we went there and it was delicious. I really enjoyed it. Folks, here we are. Oh, there's a bunch of pictures here. This is the deep dish pizza. Razor and I shared this, and then Variant Hex and her partner shared something else. Or no, they got different, like a pizza and a sandwich, I think. But this is a deep dish, super veggie pizza. Oh my goodness. Excuse me, delicious. Wow. We actually split this, and then I took a couple of pieces home, and then Razor took a piece home as well. Spoiler alert, I had it for breakfast. The next day at 6 a.m. at the airport, or it was like 6:30 a.m., I was eating it at Indianapolis Airport, and oh, it was so delicious. Yeah, it was huge, James, and like one slice. Again, I'm old school. I mean, I love New York style pizza, the thin crust. That's my jam. But you know what? This was really darn good. It was. Oh, Mick Adams says cold Chicago pizza. Oh yeah, it's the I love cold pizza. That's like a college thing, leftover. You know, that's what I ate during college. But oh my goodness, this is so good. Let me continue here. So we got to play the latest hotness thanks to Variant Hex. We played Cat in the Box. I was blown away. This game, for a trick-taking game, it does something really unique where you can look at those suits, folks, on the cards. What suits, you ask, Ruel? There are no suits. You determine what suit is for each card as you play. It's so crazy. And my goodness. And then here's where you keep track. You're going to bid on how many tricks you want. So I bid this time 1. And then you're going to, you play a card next to the color that they stand for. And then if you win, if you meet certain conditions, you're going to get points for adjacencies on the track. I don't know if I have any pictures of the track. But anyways, this was like the big hit of the con. I was really surprised, but it lived up to the hype. So Cat in the Box from Bezier Games. And here are our friends, Soften Your Razor, Variant Hex, and Variant Hex's partner, Aaron. I can't, those smiles, folks. These 3 people really made my night. One of the best nights I had at Gen Con. I mean, obviously it's on the top 10 list, but I absolutely adore these people, and the time that we spent meant so much. And it was so cool to like listen to different stories and chat, eat good food together. And as I told them that night, this was more my speed. We have the convention craziness, which is fun. There's nothing wrong with that. That's Gen Con. But then to have moments like this where you're just out having dinner with, friends, having friends, dinner and games. This is something Michelle and I will do at home, and this, I can't thank you all enough. Variant Hex, Soften Your Razor. Yeah, I'm literally just so thankful for this. So yeah, what Blackboard Games in the house. Hey Dwayne, folks, this was the moment that I was so it was so cool. You meet people, and you're always wondering what people are like. I mean, I knew they were good people. They're beyond good. They're awesome. But still, thank you. That's my number 3 moment. Dwayne, I saw he showed up to Gen Con at the end, just an impromptu trip with Alicia, and I'm so bummed I miss you, but I'm happy you're here, Dwayne. Good to see you. Let's move on to my number 2 moment, and this let me see. I got to get a picture of this. So these last 2, I must get pictures of. Let me scroll here. Where is our picture of this thing? But again, let me know if you're watching this on YouTube later. Let me know in the comments below what your top 10 Gen Con moments were, and we'll talk about that. Here is Nope. Where is it? Right here. This is what I want to point out here. So my number 2 moment. This meant the world to me as well from a professional standpoint, but also a personal standpoint. Number 2, the BIPOC Lounge, the Black Indigenous People of Color Lounge. Wow. What a space. This is so needed. If you've ever been to Gen Con, or actually a lot of gaming conventions, especially, we'll just talk about Gen Con. The majority of people there, the overwhelming majority of people are white, okay? And it can be difficult for people of color or people who, quote unquote, are, straight white male. That's just the reality. It can be really difficult when you're faced with that. And the BIPOC Lounge is a nice change of pace, I shall say. It was like an event room. There's 2 event rooms put together. And it was just a space for those people like myself to relax, to conduct business, to meet up with friends, to make new friends, to play games, or just to recharge. It quickly became my home base, and I cannot thank Rose Gauntlet, Isaac, and Lindsay enough for putting this together, and also Danny. He was a huge part of it as well. He helped organize it, and boy, it was so cool. And I'm just gonna I'll share one picture. I got to see my friend Mandy Hutchinson there. She had come down from Canada. I love Mandy. She and Suzanne, they were on the Dice Tower for years. They're doing their own thing now, podcast wise. They also do the Salt and Sass Twitch channel. And I just took one picture with Mandy here to show the background, but the room itself was gorgeous. I was able to move 3 of my meetings, or actually 2 of my meetings there. Then I had an impromptu meeting there, and actually the BIPOC Lounge saved my life because I had a meeting scheduled with Keymaster, and thanks to my stupid calendar or my lack of technological skills, I straight up just missed that meeting. It didn't show up on my calendar. I hadn't written it down, but Jennifer from Keymaster had shown up early to another meeting, and she was there. She said, "Hi, Ruel." I was like, "Oh, hi." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." She's like, "No worries. Totally get it. Would you like to meet now?" I was like, "This is perfect." So we got to meet there for like 10-15 minutes and got to reconnect. They had sponsored TLN before, and we talked about other things, and just I had them sign my yearbook. Jennifer signed my yearbook. It was really fun, and just to be able to use that lounge the way we did, oh my gosh, there was nothing but good vibes there. And it's it's Gen Con, but not Gen Con at the same time. So obviously the demographics that, the majority demographics that are different than the majority demographics at Gen Con. But what I love that it's a space, it was just quiet because there weren't as many people. But also there was times when it got really loud because people were having fun. There was Benita and Casey did they hosted a meetup there with their channels where they gave out games. So we had a raffle. There were snacks, there were drinks, there were couches, there was private office space. I was able to use that. I met with a gentleman from Germany, a German distributor. We had a really good meeting. I was very grateful that he actually said, "Hey, let's meet in the BIPOC Lounge." I was like, "Cool." So he's from Germany. His company has been around. His former company was around for like 20 something years. He started a new one. Anyways, we had a 20-minute meeting, 15-20 minutes, and afterwards he said, "Ruel, this is the best meeting I've had all Gen Con." I was like, "Wow, thank you." And it's because of the space. It was it was a good place to conduct business, but people were respectful, and it's just and I actually saw him later on using the space for other meetings. So it was just really cool to see. There's mentorships there. The mentorships were so cool to see. I saw B. Dave Walter talking to someone. Eric Lang, when I was in one meeting, he was at another, at the conference tables they had, mentoring new up-and-coming designers of color. And I was like, oh, this is the next generation. And I'm going to write to Lindsay and Isaac. It's actually one of my priorities after this. I've given some feedback on Facebook. I'll just shout them out or whatever. But I want to give them feedback where I'm going to tell them how necessary this is and how thankful a lot of us are and for this type of space to exist. And Danny, I need to talk to Danny too. But it was so cool. That's why it's my number 2, folks. It was something neat. And Danny had a really great point. There was let's be real. There was a lot of hate towards Danny because of this thing. He shared some really graphic, it's so disheartening to see like racist, sexist, homophobic language and threats to Danny and some of these people who are involved with this. And I don't like using that word, but I do hate that he has to go through this. But you know what? Danny's a strong person, and we're all here to uplift him as well. We're all in this together, folks. And he was saying like, you don't have to be white. You don't have to be a person of color to use this space. It was never like that. And like, I guess apparently people who are attacking him, straight white males were saying, well, you're segregating. No, we're not segregating things. We're offering a space that is, available as a safe space for people that look like me, right? So, I want to support this as much as possible. Full disclosure, I did donate a small amount of money to it, but we want to see this grow and continue to be a useful space. And You know, Eric Lang had just tweeted about this. I just saw this before I went live almost 2 hours ago. Eric Lang had tweeted that, you know, Lindsay and Isaac, they walked the walk, or they talked the talk, but they walked the walk. They went out, did the homework, and then they made this happen. So again, with the help of Danny and all kinds of people, amazing stuff. And I can't wait to use this space again next year. Jen White says mentorship at BIPOC was amazing. Yeah, and I hope I know that people found it very useful. I found it enormously useful as a wonderful resource. I think all conventions should have this, and hopefully it's the start of a new thing. So folks, if you didn't go there, no worries. But next year, support the BIPOC Lounge. Okay, we're moving on. We've got our number one. So as you can see, I've got my 10 through 9 up there because I do analog alerts. I've got the analog list. I want to get a picture ready for y'all for my number one. Again, in all of these, you know, I had a real tough time trying to figure out what my number one is. How do you rank these, right? And these could easily be anywhere on the list. Let me give some shout outs for honorable mentions. I talked about my yearbook. I've already talked about that. The TLN meetup. This should have made my top 10. I don't know why it's not my top 10. I should probably make it top 10A. But we had a TLN meetup over at is it Good Games or Great Games? Right across the street from the convention center, there's a board game store. No, I feel like they're not really well known, but they should be. We had a TLN meetup with a bunch of our TLN members there, just to, you know, hang out for a couple of hours and just to, you know, connect and chill out with each other. And I had to do the live stream right after, so I had to leave a little early. So I was like, you know what the heck, I'll do an impromptu speech. So I just, you know, I asked everyone, hey, just give me 1 minute or 2 minutes of your time, and just wanted to, you know, I gave a little quick speech about how, you know, thankful I am for them and all the great things they're helping everyone do together. And we made the big announcement, and I you know, y'all are going to announce it right here as well. TLN, next month, we are doing a charity stream we are partnering with Extra Life. Extra Life raises funds for Children's Hospital. One of Children's Hospital and Extra Life's partners is Twitch. We are going to do a stream that starts at 9 a.m. on Friday and goes the entire weekend. 72 hours, approximately 72 hours. We'll probably have some empty spots, but we're going to try to get as many TLNers as possible on there. And we're going to be on the front page of Twitch, folks. This is a huge thing for board gamers. The entire thing is not going to be on the front page. We are definitely going to have the countdown show on the front page of Twitch, and then select streams. It depends on Extra Life and Twitch. They're the ones that manage the schedule, but we definitely have the countdown. So we are so stoked. This is something we've been working towards for the last 2 years. Thank you, friends who are watching live right now. Thank you for all the congrats. This is a huge thing, folks. So August. I should get the date. Let me get the date right. August. What month is this? This is August. Let me get the calendar. Extra Life is August 19th. Oh my gosh, that's next week already. So if you're watching this today on August 9th, tomorrow, August 10th on YouTube, we just got over a week left. So we're putting together the schedule, but we are going to go live 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern, August 19th, Friday, and we're going to be on the front page of Twitch. So it's a huge thing. We're so fired up, and you know what? As much as all that stuff is cool, it's going to be great and everything, we're going to raise money for Children's Hospital. We've set our goal at $5,000. I think we can do much better than that. You know, we're going to see, especially on the front page of Twitch, folks. This is their tabletop appreciation weekend. When's the last time you saw a board game stream on the front page of Twitch? I'll wait. Never, right? Or very rarely. Or I don't remember if I don't think there's ever been one. We're going to be, if not the first, we're going to be the best. Because I'm going to call it right now. It's going to be the best time because we love TLN. You all have been an instrumental part in growing TLN and being part of that community. I can't wait. And I'm going to throw this out there as well. You all, a lot of you here are regulars on my channel. I thank you. And also regulars on other channels. We're going to call upon you to make sure it's a safe event. So not only do we have our moderators, but we want, you know, regular chat members as well. If you see some funny behavior, just inappropriate, and again, we're gonna be on the front page of Twitch. You never know who's gonna be watching, who's gonna be, you know, up to, you know, something nefarious or whatever. It's gonna be up to y'all. We're gonna take care of each other. We're gonna ban users. There's gonna be a zero tolerance policy. We're gonna be switching. We may be switching a followers only chat or emoji emote chat, whatever. But we're gonna do everything we can to keep it safe and keep it fun, because we're so stoked. Nick, Mike, and I are gonna start off the countdown show. Man, I'm gonna let y'all in the secret. I'm going over to the Brothers Murph studio. We're gonna do the countdown show right. I'm gonna be there live. We're gonna be there in their studio. We're gonna do some fun stuff to kick it off. So that's Friday, August 19th. Thank you all for the congrats. Thank you for the support. But we're not done yet with that. So there's a little announcement. Thanks to our TLN meetup. Got a couple other honorable mentions from the weekend or from the week. Played Starship Captains with Ray of CGE, and we live streamed it. It was the first time it's been shown on stream with Daryl Andrews, my buddy. You may know him. He's like a designer of some pretty good games like Sagrada. Daryl's great. I love it. He's another baseball fan. Again, he roots for the Toronto Blue Jays. Folks, let's show some Dodgers some love, please. He didn't join us for a baseball game, but I know he's always a big baseball fan. We talked about it earlier before the stream, the charity board gamer event. That was another highlight. Chris, with the help of CGE, just had this big space where we all just hang out, play games, and ended up being a place to connect. Other great moments, seeing friends like Emma Larkins, who I haven't seen in a while, got to reconnect with her, and then meeting in real life for the first time. A lot of you, and then a lot of content creators that I admire, such as Jazz Cruz from the Lobby of Hobbies. And the other highlight, I mean, it's business, but still, all the meetings I have with publishers, again, 45 over 4 days, they all went well. I'm grateful that they take the time to meet with me. I work my tail off at this, and it's the fruits of my labor have been, but they haven't totally manifested. But I think things like, being able to do this consistently and also bring TLN on the front page of Twitch. I mean, this is, not just my work, but the work of publishers and my fellow content creators as well, and all my collaborators. So it's not just me. It's, again, I don't do this unless I get help. So to all of them, publishers I partner with, and also y'all in chat, and y'all who have been part of the community. I mean, we're all in this together to get board games played more, right? So those are honorable mentions. Let's get to my number one. What is it, you may ask? Well, Ruel, I'm glad you asked. It is my final night. It was the very last night. So after dinner with the Fam Bam, with Suffering Razor and Variant Hex, I was just beat. I was like, you know what? I got to start packing. I got to go home the next morning early. But Amy and Maggie, if you haven't can tell by now, they're my peeps. They're my homies. Michelle and I love them, and we just really connected, not only through our work here, but I'll share this story. Amy had, said that during the pandemic, like everyone, we all struggled, mental health wise. But she said, thanks to our channel and other Twitch channels as well, there was a way to connect with folks. And, we're still doing it now. Even as we sort of open up the world a little bit, we're still able to do that and connect with you all here live on Twitch. And she said it really helped them, having us, me and Michelle, sometimes Lauren, and, our beloved Bruno, rest in peace. Just having family game night, and that really meant the world to us. That's why this is going to be my number one moment. The end of Gen Con, I got to hang out with, before you played Thinker Themer, Monique and Naveen are also good friends. They're here in Southern California, and we just had this impromptu, like, where you at? And, I was at the Gen Con after party, just, winding things down there. And then Amy, messaged me, and I said, maybe we can hang out later, but, if it happens, it happens. And they said, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went back to my hotel room, to the Hilton, and then Monique, Naveen, Amy, and Maggie came by, and it was the best time. Not only because we played kites, and that was fine. We played a quick game. I like kites. It's a fun real-time game of trying to, you work cooperatively to keep the kites flying with these sand timers. Real-time thing, a lot of fun. But I got to spend like 2 hours with these fine people, and I was so grateful. I was inspired. I was, I said grateful, inspired. I was in awe. I was in admiration of what these people do. And we talked about life. We talked about the industry. We talked about our content. We talked about games. But it was so nice to connect with them. Just like the Fam Bam dinner, that I had connecting with folk. And these, you know, I've been friends with all of these people, these fine people, over the last few years, and it's meant a lot to be their friend. But also, the fact that we could be in the same room and play game and share. You know, I don't want to go. The conversation was, you know, private, of course, but you know, to be able to be vulnerable with friends is something very, very special to me. And you know, we all, you know, we opened up and talked about some heavier stuff, but we also kept it light and played light games. So it was way past my bedtime. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because I had to get up, you know, early to get ready for my flight. I didn't care. There was no way I was not gonna spend time with these people. So that's my number one, folks. Of all these great moments, again, all of these moments, they could easily been switched places, you know. But that was the one I selected my number one. Let me know here or the comments below what your number one moment. You've been watching Tabletop Tonight. For those of you on YouTube, this is recorded live on Twitch, and I appreciate your time. This was the top 10 Gen Con moments, and folks, I've been taking Rahdo's lead, trying to do this where I can, you know, do like a live stream video and then just put it on YouTube, and people can just, I'm gonna chop out the intro and the outro. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. I need to catch up on chat. I know I've been ignoring y'all. My apologies, but thank you so much. We're so excited about TLN on the front page of Twitch. I cannot wait. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little nerve-wracking. We're gonna go. You see some of those streams on those front pages, folks. I'm talking like thousands of viewers. So we're gonna have to bring our A game, and I know we will. I'm so fired up. Good Game Store, Board Game Feast. Thought that was an Australian. I think it might be an Australian chain, because people were saying I actually saw their booth at Gen Con. So they're distributors and publishers as well. They've got a distribution angle, or I mean, department or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way back here. I saw Tabletop Rebellion. Thank you for joining us. It was nice to see you at Gen Con. Okay, my only complaint about Cat in the Box is the pink pieces are similar in color to. Agreed. Yeah, that I was a little bit about. Roll for Crit Life. Thank you for hanging out. A Cat in the Box. My biggest regret was not picking it up. I didn't pick it up either. I probably should have, but I was at my limit as far as space goes. And hey, why don't while I catch up on chat, I'll show y'all what's on my table. Some of the things I picked up. You saw the chips. Did I show you the bag of chips, or you saw the Canadian chips? These are the Indiana chips, sweet and spicy, the Broad Ripple Chip Company. Folks, this is how awesome Variant Hex is. You know, I showed the picture of all the food she brought. She specifically chose an Indiana company that has a pug for their mascot. This is Zeus. Zeus has a Instagram page. I had the plain chips. They're really good. This is sweet and spicy. I'm looking forward to this. See how this tastes. But oh, here's some of the other stuff I got. Of course, you saw the little Lego man or Lego T-head from Sovereignty. I got a bunch of buttons. Here's one from our friends, the Incorrigible Party. Stay incorrigible. Love them. This was from, gosh, I forget the distributor's name, but they're the company based in Germany, and they were giving out this as their little giveaway here. Spicy, a fan. And this, I saw some people using this at the convention. This is a great giveaway. So look at that, Spicy. If you ever played Spicy, it's a fun game. A lot of Take That, but boy, that's a great game. Let me just get chat. So I'm gonna, you know, I'm sorry I missed a bunch of your comments, but it's getting late, at least for me. It's, what is it, almost 9 p.m. Heidelbar, thank you so much. Yes, Heidelbar, roll for crit. Appreciate you. So yeah, Heidelbar does this. Steph Raccoon, thank you so much for hanging out. Roll for crit says, you had time to, yeah, right. Just like Jen White, I was probably doing like 4 hours of sleep per night. But yeah, let's continue here. I would give my left little finger for that fan. Ben, really? You don't have to give your left little finger, Ben. This is yours. I just gave this to Ben Osteen. I appreciate you, Ben. As a friend, IRL in real life. There is like a little flip case for this. I'll send it to you, Ben. You got it. Let's see. Board game. Oh, Board Game Garden. I'm a little nervous. You are going to be fantastic, Jenna and Francis. You are going to rock it. Don't even sweat it. You know, just do your thing. And if you need support, we are in the TLN Discord for you. Okay, so what's just I had? I'll do. I'm not really the biggest like convention hall fan. Photos. I don't know. It just always seems weird to me. It's just not really my thing. But you know, I gotta show some of the games, right? Anyways, I like to show stuff like this, like the Catan. Like I partnered with Catan a couple of times, and I got to meet their marketing person I always talk to on email, and it's really nice to connect with them in person. And they gave me more Catan stuff. You know, I got a bunch of stuff. This was neat though. They have mints, but check out these mints. The mints are shaped like little tiles, like in the game, and they actually have the Catan logo in there. Right? So isn't that neat? I don't know. I got a kick out of that. I'm going to do a pop blender fact right now. Oh, Jen White, thank you so much. Says, Ruel, you're creating such a wonderful space here. You know what, Jen? It's because of people like you and everyone here in stream. I mean, these are a lot of regulars here. That's why I love this space. It is fantastic. And y'all are, yeah, please join the Discord. I'll drop the link there. Thank you, Razor, for reminding about the Discord. There it is right there. Juby, I got one of those, but hadn't opened the tin. Yeah, isn't that cool? So I got a couple of these, folks. It's so neat. What else? I got, oh, this was cool. Stella from Maple University. She was handing out little first player tokens. So this is a first player token, Maple University. Isn't that neat? I love that. Stella's so good at what she does. Of course, I got to shout out Rose Gauntlet for the pin. You know, like any good convention, they have a lot of pins. That's the one I want to show off. This was the hottest, one of the hottest as well. Red Cathedral Contractors, this is the expansion. Shout out to my buddy Marcelo at Devere, hooking me up. We actually talked about this on the Gen Con TV preview show. You got, you know, new boards, bunch of new stuff. It definitely adds some stuff to the game, but not so much where, according to Marcelo, it's not totally like, you know, expanded like game time, play time as well. So it's not like it adds like an hour of gameplay or all these new rules, but it does add a few new things, and you're going to replace, I think, the clergy or take out the clergy. I forget what he said, but yeah, Red Cathedral Contractor is a huge hit at the convention. They're selling like hotcakes. This one I'm super excited about because Gift of Tulips. I love Weird Giraffe games, and this one, if you know, I'm going to open it up right now. Let's do an unboxing, folks, just for y'all. An unboxing. Well, I guess we did an unboxing with that, but Carla and Weird Giraffe has always been supportive of the stuff I do, and I really appreciate them. They actually, I don't know if you saw my tweet, they gave me a t-shirt because, you know, if I had to describe Gen Con in 2 words, it'd be overwhelming and sweaty. I mean, I swear I was sweating throughout my shirt every single time. So the last day there, Just CCG and Justin Bird, they were so kind. They got me a shirt, a Weird Giraffe shirt. So the next day when I flew home, I was in a fresh shirt. You know, it just felt really nice. Yeah, Gift of Tulips, gorgeous set collection game. I previewed this twice, I think. I've done it with Good Looking Kickstarters with Becca when it was on the Kickstarter, and then when it came to retail, I was hyped about it on Rahdo's channel. But yeah, you're a tulip, I think, vendor, just trying to sell tulips during that time of year when they're in bloom, I guess, in blossom. But yeah, can't wait to play that. Clyde Man, the art, yeah, Carla's great. I agree, James. She's wonderful. Ben says hard pass on the sweaty sweatcon. Yeah, it was sweaty. Roll for Crit says the weather was much different to what I've been used to in Gen Con Pass. The rain made it cool early on, but then very muggy when this. Yeah, I don't. Hey, Roll for Crit, did you get caught in that rain? Because I was about to get caught on it on Thursday, I think, in the morning. The second I stepped out of my hotel, it just started pouring. So I was like, boom, lift. So I took a lift like 3 blocks away. Totally worth it, because another friend of mine they were walking halfway there and they got drenched, and they were just like soaked. I'm sorry you got caught in that. But anyways, Gift of Tulips doesn't really have anything to do with the rain, but it is a beautiful game. I can't wait to play. This one I want to save for last. We talked about Grease for Lightning. This came out a year or 2 ago. I was just super stoked because I got to meet the designer, someone I've looked up to in the industry, Kathleen Mercury. She's a educator as well, so you know, just an educator. You know, Michelle and I have just, you know, we got a lot of love for educators because Michelle's a teacher as well. So for her to sign it to me and just say some very nice things meant the world to me. So thank you, Kathleen. We talked about Kites. That's the game that we played with Monique, Naveen, Amy, and Maggie. This is a real-time game. Folks, real-time game, Beth Sobel art. Oh my goodness. What you're doing in Kites is playing these cards. They're all different colors and stuff, and each card corresponds to a timer. And as you can see, if the timer, anytime you play a card, you have to flip it over that color. So if I play this purple one, I gotta flip that over. If I play a red one, I gotta flip that over. And the trick is you don't want any of the sand to run out, obviously, or that means your kite has fallen out of the sky. And then there's this white one, the main one you got. That's the one that's always has to also be taken care of. This is a wild, so I think it's any single kite can do that. There's some that have doubles and stuff. Really fun real-time game. I tried the prototype last year, so to see it in this form, I was like, the timers, yeah, it's so much nicer, especially with the Bessel art. So thanks to Ian for providing that from Floodgate Games. Two more. Oh, gotta show Tim Tams again. Shout out to Amy and Maggie and Stella. Two more. This one here. Good Puppers. I had no idea this game existed. I like pugs. I love dogs. I love pugs. And is there a pug here? I don't think there's a pug here. There might be one in the game, but this is a card game about dogs. I asked this in my Discord, and there's another opportunity to drop the Discord link. Go to my Discord. Let me know any dog-related games you like, or dog-themed games you like, and I would love to check them out, because we are planning on raising some funds for the Pug Nation Rescue LA. And what Michelle and I want to do, and hopefully Lauren will be up for it too, is do a stream, like an extended stream where we just play nothing but dog games. And then while we're playing the dog games, you know, we'll hang out with Meeple and Mookie, show them off, but then also try to, you know, raise some money for Pug Nation Rescue LA, which is where we got Meeple and Mookie, because we love the work that they do. They take care of so many pugs, but also non-pug dogs as well. And just getting to know some of the staff while we went through the process of adopting Meeple and Mookie, we're like, yeah, we want to show them as much love as possible. But Dog Lover is one I really want to play. I have not played that yet. I did like Cat Lady, but thank you, Board Game. Who was it? Board Game Garden. Thank you for that suggestion. So now, love all this stuff. Okay, Ben Steen says, good dog, bad dog, zombie. Dog Lover, dogs, Snowtails. Oh, I forgot about Snowtails. And Agility. I just saw Agility recently too. Okay, so here's some of the, I have a bunch of other stuff too behind me. So Ahoy released at Gen Con, but I think they were just taking pre-orders for that. Dead Reckoning right here, the expansion just went on Kickstarter today. Kinfire Chronicles, I'm super hyped about this. Now, I was going to do a live stream of this next week, but they pushed back I love how I try to make, they pushed back the release launch date to, I think, the 23rd. So I'll be doing a live stream of that. It's a co-op dungeon, not dungeon crawl, but a co-op adventure. So very RPG-like. Y'all see that? You know how hyped I am for Race at Bet. They unfortunately they were going to launch the game on at Kickstarter, on Gen Cons, like, AEG does the big game night every year. That was going to be their thing, but the games didn't show up from, they were stuck on, I don't know if on a boat or just they didn't arrive in time. But thankfully, luckily, fortunately for me and some other people, they had enough copies for content creators, so only like a couple of dozen. So I got one of those. Race at Bet. I've been hyped about it all year long since I played the prototype. Also got Moonshine Empire. We talked about that a little earlier in the stream. Terracotta Army as well. That's some of the new stuff. Moonrakers, y'all know about that. They've only raised like $1.6 million. IBC are knocking it out of the park there. So that's some of the new stuff. But I want to highlight one last one. This here. This is coming out in October or November. According to Tim Fowers, one of the designers, this is one of 4 copies in the world right now. Very thankful for this. There are actually, I got the core box for Paperback Adventures. This is basically paperback, but the roguelike edition. So you are going to be creating words to go on little adventures and, adventures and, trying to complete missions and stuff. There are 4 of these. You have the core box and 3 different characters. I've got them all. And there are Tim had these are the early production samples or ones that are out. He said he's keeping 2 and gave 4 out. One of them is here, so I'm going to be playing this. I was thinking Words on Wednesday tomorrow, but I'm probably going to still be tired, I guess, from jet lag. And I'm doing this stream has gone a little long for me tonight, so I'll probably be too tired. So maybe we'll make it Thesaurus Thursday. What do y'all think about that? We'll try it out. You know how much I love my alliteration. But this one, oh, I love paperbacks. My favorite word game of all time. You throw on this or like Slay the Spire type action. So we call it Spell the Spire. If you like Slay the Spire, you like word games, paperback in particular, boom, Paperback Adventures. Super, super excited about this. Oh my goodness. Rick has one of the other copies. Yes, I saw that in the Slack. Rick, what channel do you work for? I forgot. Is it drop it in here in the link or whatever. I totally forgot. My mind is I go over 2 hours, my mind starts going haywire. Shu says, how do you like hardback? I love hardback. But here's my thing. I'm more of a word game guy than a deck building guy, I think, in this case. So I like paperback compared to hardback. Hardback is more, I call it like Star Realms meets Scrabble, whereas paperback's more like Dominion meets Scrabble. Both are fine, but I think I like the pure wordiness of paperback compared to hardback. Because hardback, you have a lot of outs, right? You have a lot of wilds that you can do. It's more about combining comboing the factions, I think, in a hardback. Both wonderful games. The solo in hardback, I thought it was tough. I got my butt kicked by that, but I still love paperback. I've shown it numerous times, and Tim, we're probably going to partner. Well, I shouldn't say that. We're going to be working together in the future because he's also got the paperback app that's coming out. Y'all have seen a bunch of you have gotten free codes here for the paperback app, and I think there's either another version or like the final version that's going to release in October or so. Yeah, hardback. Any card can be wild. That's right. Yeah, that's right, James. Thank you. Yeah, you just any card can be wild, but you just don't get as many points or whatever. Bing says I need to play paperback. I love. If you're a word game fan, I would highly recommend it. If you're not a word game fan, I'd probably recommend hardback instead, just because it's more gamer. You guys, Rick. Oh, you don't work for a channel. Oh, I thought you did, Rick. Well, wow, you got a copy. You got one of those copies. That's fantastic, man. I don't know. That's awesome. Yeah, I was super stoked. I just Tim just knows I'm a paperback geek, so that was really nice. Paperback 2 is great, but had a few issues. Yeah, I think that's what Tim was like. He was like basically put it out there and hopefully getting feedback and stuff. So I haven't played the expansion stuff. Ben says got it. A while ago, great game. Yeah, I did play some of the expansion. Ben, it's modular. You can add certain things. I liked. Gosh, they had like lowercase letters that do stuff, and they also have new letters that you swap in for I think the 7, 8, 9 cent, 10-cent words, and they have ones that are like 3 letters or more as well, and then you turn those like sideways. I forget. Anyways, roll for Chris says hardback is for people like me who cannot spell. That's true. Definitely works for those. Okay. Wow. It's been 2 hours. You've been listening to my voice for 2 hours. I appreciate it. Glad you're not. Well, hope maybe you are sick of it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, friends. I'm going to sign off and find someone to raid. But you've been watching Tabletop tonight. I will be back. What's tomorrow? Wednesday, probably Thursday, with a playthrough. I want to do one of these new games. I got it so it doesn't sit on my shelf of opportunity too long. Yeah, Foglight totally flew by, right? Bordian Garden says, I'm so bad at paperback because I'm horrible at spelling things. Yeah, in that case, I think hardback's a good one to go with because you don't need the biggest vocabulary. It's more about comboing in hardback. So, like Star Realms, you have different factions. Same thing in hardback. I think it's genres, like the mystery genre or the or the romance drama or genre. And then as you play cards from them, then they combo out and stuff. But yeah, that one I'd probably recommend. I love me a good word game. I love Wordsy. I love Word on the Street. I don't do Wordle much anymore. I keep forgetting. But Words on Wednesday. I do Words on Wednesday. Every couple of Wednesdays or every other Wednesday, I do word-based games. I love crosswords. So yeah, I'm just enjoying hanging out with y'all. I appreciate it. This is really nice to just hang out and chat, and we talk about Gen Con and just again just being part of this community. So super grateful. Gen Y says this helps with my Gen Con withdrawal. Oh yeah, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, that's sort of like it's like bittersweet, right? At the end of the convention, you have such a great time, but you're tired. You want to sleep in your own bed. At least that's what I want to do. But yeah, then it's like, oh, I miss it. I miss seeing all all the games and all the friends and stuff. Totally feel that way. But you know, it's good to be home. You know, having, for me, like a home cooked meal was so nice after, you know, eating out so much, and just being able to, you know, see my wife. And you know, anytime I'm at a convention, like, my routine is really simple. Hi, want to come on and say hi to friends? Hi, pugs. The pugs are here. My routine every night was, you know, I do all day, do business, see friends, maybe play a game or two. But you know, I get home a certain time at night, or back to the room, and you know, I video chat with Michelle for half an hour, and that's what keeps me sane, I guess, and keeps me grounded. And then she'll show the pugs, and it's like, oh yeah, the pugs are okay. But you know, coming home, it's tough to be away that long, but coming home, really, it makes it worthwhile. So yeah, that's you know, it's hard sometimes, because you miss your loved ones so much. And Michelle and Mookie and Meeple, all the M's, Michelle, Mookie, and Meeple. Hey, Mook. Oh, Mookie just locked himself. Come here, buddy. Come on. You want to say hi to everyone? Yeah, you did. Come on, up. All right. Special guest Mookie, folks. Yeah, you're happy Papa's home, huh? Oh, good boy. Mookie, I swear, when I got home, I was like, oh my gosh, the pugs grew. Like, I feel like they're so much bigger than they were when we first got them. Hey, Mook. What's up? Oh, don't press that. Let me move the keyboard out of the way, but what are you doing, Mook? So, yeah, here's Mookie, folks. Meeple ran away. She's hanging out with Michelle right now. But Mookie Duke. Yeah, named after Mookie Betts, a Dodger. You know, go Dodgers. M+M+M, yes, Razor. Thank you, Board Game Garden. Yes, folks, get some rest. You know, let's, Mookie, you're going to help me raid. Who are we going to raid, Mook? Let's pick someone. Mookie's like, where's the food? Oh, no more kisses, buddy. Maybe later. Let's raid someone first. I want to thank you all again for hanging out with me. Let's stick around for the raid show with some love to another channel. What other channels out there, Mooks? Who should we raid? Bonds is live. We haven't raided DFoob in a while. Let's raid DFoob. DFoob was there. I got to see DFoob, and then, folks, we're gonna raid DFoob. Will you let them know that I said thank you for the Ruffles chips, the all-dressed chips, and just show them some love, because they're fantastic people. They're great. Again, meeting DFoob and Colorfly in real life, I forgot their real names, so it was nice to, like, hey, we're meeting in real life. What's your name again? So it's really neat to do that. Let's show them some love. I'm going to raid DFoob. I want to thank you all again for joining me tonight. Mookie, what do you want to do, buddy? You going to press the raid button? All right. We're going to put Mookie down here. And thank you again, friends. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you real soon, and we're going to raid DFoob and Colorfly. So where is my outro button? Here it is. Take care, everybody. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all. And talk to you soon. Bye now.